I had no idea they came that close. I didn't even do that. They're fighting down here. Why don't we try to go this way? Finally, a fucking red dot. Holy shit.
Match found.
I'm trying to I'm leaving these fucking head along here.
I am the beginning. I am the
Here
end.
he is. Is it still there? I'm dropping a Mastiff that's fully kitted. Might
be people behind us.
I don't know. There's that blue helmet on me. Oh, I want it. You guys need batteries? I got a fuck ton. I dropped 2 shield bats right there. I'm grabbing this gold. I can drop more if you guys want batteries ever so. I find more fucking clothes. Dropping 2 more batteries right here.
Bro, oh man. I see some people's TikToks and I just think, what the fuck?
Yeah, bro. Some people TikToks are fucking weird.
Like, I'm just like, what the fuck, man? You can't make this shit up.
Nope. Some of them are just fucking absolutely stupid. Just one of the dumbest shit you ever seen in your life. They just rest right here.
Our guests have arrived. Let's make a good first impression,
Yo, guys,
shall
can we please forfeit? I thought this was ranked. I put it on Reddit like an asshole. Like, I'd really appreciate it.
Bro. Red 2, push hard, push hard.
Man, I do not want to play unrated. I hate when I do that. I gotta start paying attention.
Where's the other fucking dude?
Go.
I'm not running, Shawty. Running 9 and RE.
Bro, my shirt has me so...
Cover going out. Blinding.
Spike down mid. One enemy remaining.
We come back this side.
Where the fuck did this go?
Flawless.
How did they think since we...
What'd they do? Drop 2. I didn't even get to see
My
anybody.
burden never ends.
Someone's coming graphics. No. Ricky! Are you letting her out? Are you letting her out? Thank you.
Hey, you guys didn't finish this fucking Pathfinder or what? Pathfinder sitting right here.
Claw through them.
I see you fuckers didn't finish it.
Cover going
I'm
out.
gonna chill up here and wait for this kid to come back. I'm just gonna chill on this side of the map. So we can get around this way, but it's bad if we have to. If we can pout off this place into our actual map.
Yeah, we don't want to be talking about it.
Yeah, that's,
Spike planted.
that's why I'm staying up here just in case. Make sure Solo don't come behind us either.
Birthday display.
Is it Solo or is it this too? Yeah, coming.
Last player standing.
I don't hear. Was that kid a Loba that ran away?
Yeah.
Maybe on top of the building.
Give in. Blinding.
Coming up on me.
Shadows traveling.
I'm gonna crack him.
Fucking A.
We gotta kill this dude.
Just think, Sabine. You used to heal.
Wait for my
with
ult to come
skill.
back so I can ult them.
Funny.
54 on Patty. I almost got my ult. I'm gonna throw my ult right here to pull him the fuck out of here.
Let's dance.
99.
That's Solo low rotated bad.
Patty 70. Ready? Pulling up.
Not your best.
Cracked her.
Reloading. Gun here.
Spike planted.
Knocked her too. Dead.
Last player standing.
Get in here. Get in here. Good shit. Fucking
Let us
love
see
the
what
gold
they
on
have
this
planned for us
still.
this time.
There's another team shooting at me. Everyone's on range.
I am everywhere.
I'm gonna res him. You gotta res him. You gotta res him, Diddy.
Shadows traveling.
Enemy mid.
I got you. Good. No, he's shooting me. Oh, he's
Last
fucking
player
shooting me.
standing.
Spike
Spike planted.
Yeah, he's fucking cheating. 100%.
They think they're better than us. I can tell.
Chip, did you see me where he shot me through? He shot me
Guys,
from
keep
clean outside
please FF so I can go play rank.
through the step.
I'd appreciate it very much.
No, I'm going to watch it back and watch that real quick. He's standing. It's that Loba. Diddy, you see what happened? He shot me from clean outside through the steps of that little crack. Through the steps.
Marked one.
Watch them run.
Last player standing. Spike planted.
Get it on me.
Dreams are a funny thing. One little twist, and it all turns dark.
Well, we gained back everything we lost.
I must hold together.
Tremor! Joke's over! You're dead!
Cover going out.
Last player standing. Spike planted.
If any of you die, I lose a bet with Brimstone, so don't embarrass me like that, please.
Mark 3.
Get out of my way!
Here.
Spike down B. One enemy remaining.
Fuck. Yeah, it'd have been even better if we won if I didn't get shot from through some fuck shit from clean across the fucking map. Some of the stupidest shit I've ever seen in my fucking life. You know what's even funnier? I had digi threat and I aimed through that smoke and I did not see anybody.
He wasn't spawn.
Thirty seconds left.
They will die, hopeless and afraid.
Fucking off me.
Reloading.
Of them all, bro. Hey, shoot me in the fucking face, you fucking piece of shit!
Bring them down. We found
Leave us. Poison orb emitting.
Last player standing.
Poison off.
Spike planted.
They think they know pain. They can't begin to comprehend it.
They are so dead!
Watch your
remaining. Spike down A.
Spike is A.
Who's next?
He's coming from spawn in his ult.
Cover going out.
He won't be.
Did he take the spike?
Yeah.
Spike planted.
Alright, blind. He isn't up. He's gonna be on the step watching market.
Concussing! Blasting!
I'll find you.
Change of plan.
Make their fear your weapon. Or use a gun, whichever.
Behind me.
Shadows traveling. Not ready yet.
Enemy spotted A.
Not ready yet.
Oh, I thought about two.
No more.
On site! On site! Just behind Jen.
Toxin screen down.
One enemy remaining.
Behind Jen. On site.
Spike down A.
Bring them.
Well, this suit is ruined.
They have courage, but no one is meant to fear.
How's the game go, Marky?
I need this.
Marky,
Hmm.
how's the games go?
Thank you.
I gained back everything I lost, and then we just fucking died to shit games. Oh, fuck.
Snuff
Kill these
them
fucking
out.
bastards.
No, I forgot.
Shadows traveling.
I'm Horizon, bro.
Stealing sight.
Amen. Yeah, good way.
Cover going out.
You know why you gotta kill Diddy?
Get out of my way!
You fucking eye bastard. There's a team here,
Spike
a team here.
planted. Last player standing.
What the fuck?
Last
You have
round
no
before the
shit.
switch.
No point saving. Spend it all.
I'll shut that race up.
Cover going out. Shadows traveling.
Fire in the hole!
Last player standing. Spike down
Motherfucker,
mid.
Octane's still trying to catch me. Motherfucker ran right through the I should do that one fucking meme where that monkey's trying to fucking rip on the cage.
Switching sides.
Their backs will be towards at least one of us.
They're there's a 9, I'll take it.
Anyone have funds to spare? Thank you.
Spike's here.
I'm fucking starving.
Right there. Right there. Right there. Crush them.
Where's the 9 at?
Here. Enemy B.
There's Reyna's running behind you.
Get out of my way.
That one's dead.
Enemy spike.
One enemy remaining.
That's
They're
3.
fighting up here too.
Bring them down.
Here.
Enemy. Defender spawn.
Last player standing.
I'll find you.
Bruh. Oh my god.
Clutch.
Wait until I blind them to strike.
Reloading. Breathe deep.
What? I'm not
Go.
Worthless.
Careful.
Shadows traveling.
Enemy mid.
Stealing sight.
Fuck.
Viper
Hang
just
on,
like
stand.
Spike planted.
Shit on. He shit on.
On my mark.
No.
chamber behind you or something.
One enemy remaining.
He's on site.
What the fuck, bro? How's that kid shooting through the fucking dumbass shit, bro? Fuck.
Last player standing.
Fuck
I am not
off.
cleaning this up.
Make
Holy
them
fucking
think.
shit. Alright, I'm getting the fuck off. I'll take it later.
Good, off Marky.
Yeah. Fucking game is pissing me off. Fucking shooting through fucking walls and fucking rampart my ass. Fucking shit can't. They hope their parents die.
That's crazy.
Alright, I'm getting the fuck off here. Let's see.
Alright, but it's okay.
I will be their nightmare.
Where are we?
Unimportant. My ultimate.
Bend on my body.
Toxins going up.
Reloading.
Guys, one's market, one's tree. I killed 3 of them. You got this.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining. Spike down mid.
Reyna's market.
My ult is ready.
There we go.
Idea. Again. Their fear is a crack, and the crack is fresh.
I will rip the light from them.
Last player standing.
Watch them run.
One enemy remaining.
Blinding.
30 seconds left. Clutch.
That was fun. I feel the strain. Block it out, Omen.
Anyone have funds to spare? Thank you.
There you go.
You're welcome. Chamber, can you buy breach?
Their fears betrayed them.
No?
They are so dead.
Behind you.
Last player standing. Flawless.
It seems these strangers want me dead. Eh bien, they're not the first.
I can't believe I queued for unrated first. Breaks my heart. Yeah, it was a good warm up.
Who will I spot first?
Oh, I don't have armor. Who gave me this? Take this. I don't have armor. Viper, is this yours?
Yeah, okay.
I don't got armor. I don't got armor.
Enemy, defender spawn.
Fire in the hole!
Going out.
Reloading.
Jet's coming flank. So is Reyna. Jet and Reyna flank.
No way. 180 right
Teleport's
now.
ready.
Killing.
Jet's there too.
Joke's over. You're dead.
One tree, one flank.
One enemy remaining.
Flank. He's in his ult. Let it run out.
Teleport's gone.
Run from him.
Spike planted.
Breach, honestly, these are both 30 health. I would just get off site and all him when he goes to the fuse and win the round. Or just stay on site. Fuck it.
Tremor!
Good shit, guys.
This ship is ruined.
I'll choke their sight.
You get a kill, and I'm gonna drop spike for you.
Disappear.
Player standing.
No, I didn't know there was another one. Mark it.
Toxins going up. Toxin screen down.
Oh shit.
30 seconds left.
Don't get in my way.
Get out of my way!
They're not getting the message. Leave it to me, I'll rough them up.
Isolate them and kill them.
Concussing!
Enemy spotted. A.
Watch them run.
Let's go.
Nightmare, take them!
I have B.
Mark one.
Who's next?
Come B, come B, come B. Come B, stop pushing out.
Spike down A.
Mark two.
Last player standing.
They were on B! I mean on A, what are you doing? Just come back.
Match point.
Remember, nobody's a hero when you cry for air.
Time to work.
I need a drop. Joke's over! You're dead!
Enemy spotted. Mid.
Reloading.
Enemy.
One enemy remaining.
He's on spike.
Thrifty.
I need nothing to win.
I hear them scream.
I need this.
Thanks, Viper.
Focus now. Eyes on it.
Blinding.
Man, I was smoking.
Night, night. I'll find you. Reloading.
Raises mid, Phoenix B.
One enemy remaining.
Fine.
Last
Ultimate is
player
ready.
She's hit
standing.
for a lot.
Fire in the hole!
Run, 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 run.
Don't get in my way.
Yes. You got this, believe. Push her. Chamber hit her a lot. Chamber, what'd you hit her for?
30 seconds left.
Spike planted.
Good stuff.
No one will remember them.
Here.
Where are you? Bring them
Cover
down.
going out.
Bring them down.
Reloading.
Plant the spike.
Viper, bring the spike! Viper, bring the spike!
I have the spike. Sleep. Spike planted.
Enemy mid.
Put the wall down, put the wall down.
One enemy remaining.
Never mind, you walk through it.
They're dead.
My priority is their suffering.
Bro, my shirt is making me look orange.
Where are they?
Oh, my headset's on.
Right there.
I have the spike.
Joke's over! You're dead!
Enemy mid.
My ult is ready. Where shake them?
Here.
Bring them down.
Dead.
Reyna was flying. Oh, we got her.
Cover going out.
Enemy mid.
Stealing sight. Dead.
One enemy remaining.
Satisfying.
It is done.
Sudden death.
Boş yapmayın. Keep fighting. Rest is overrated.
Oh, fuck. I'm dead. DEAD. Raze and Phoenix are there. That means Reyna's behind you. Reyna's running up cat behind you. Both are on B. Both are on A. Go B.
I'll find you.
Flash out!
Phoenix might have rotated early, so let's play together. You guys got this. Yo, Fade, you're a fucking menace with that fucking.
Bring them down. Bring them down.
Spike planted.
Raise a CT.
There.
One market.
One enemy remaining.
No, I know. Oh, she's hit. GG's, guys.
Attackers win.
My ultimate is ready.
I can't believe we won that. One second, chat. I'm making a salad quick. Forgot my headset's 9.
kills. As, oh my god, it got chaotic. Lots of utility being used. But that's all you gotta do. It's the Phantom spraying through those smokes, and it's just energy getting all the kills.
We are seeing quite a bit of Phantom supremacy lately, and MIBR knows how to get those defuses, and I think Energy knows that MIBR is good on those ninjas. How many times were we saying it with FRZ defuses last time, and Maria's defuses where MIBR was able to sneak those because they tapped the spike, play for the fight long, and then use the cove. MRBR still had the cove there. They just didn't get a chance to use it. NRG was not allowing those ninja defuse games to happen. So you're right. Unleashing the cover fire through those smokes as soon as they could. MIBR timeout coming through. Not doing too bad here figuring out the rounds they've got back in, but it doesn't seem like there's consistency. Figuring out where the op's going to be most effective maybe, because if Energy makes the site, they really deplete Heat's use of that op more and more the closer they get.
Yeah. And that's the tough part of playing an operator and against a double controller mentioned multiple times now. This current attempt of the meta from teams trying to pivot towards this double controller play to really nullify against the operator, when back then it was maybe that breach flash double initiator playstyle. And now here, at least for MIBR, off this timeout. They've been good at it the last time they called the timeout on Icebox, and we saw the comeback and even the victory from MIBR on the first map of Icebox. If you've missed it, make sure you watch back the replays later.
And this being an important round, you can see Murray's 6,600 credits spent, meaning dropping that weapon to RGL. If Energy can get another one, they make that money, that econ sting. Straight back to A. Who's hunting for an orb? It doesn't look like anybody's on deck just yet for Energy, but they are going to get some good denial on the Seekers for FRZ here. Or JZZ, rather.
Not allowing JZZ to get Seekers indeed, and even a lockdown coming out on the attack. Should allow here. I mean, there's still a gap on the right side. Thankfully, there's a high tide that allows for you to push in. Artist gaining that space, couldn't get onto the top of the hut, but now is, oh my god, lurking in to get that entry onto Maurice. Platt comes in, FRZ, making himself known on that flank attempt on mid. Artist continues to push forward. Pain Shell's now available again, pushing Heat even further back. Even a boom bot! As he eats it down to 11 HP, now gets sprayed by Artist. The opener into a 3K, opening up the site, and forcing MIBR to retreat.
And they calculated the timing perfect, too. Right as that Viper's bite went down, Artist said, perfect timing. They're going to expect a bit of a delay. He flies straight in. The rest of the team was kind of there already. We saw the harbor plant going down from Som. So they really were not delayed too much, and I think that really caught Maurice off guard when he just sees Artist standing in front of him at the spike getting planted. Yeah, right on through. Artist did not stop on the train tracks there, getting a beautiful round to shut down a lot. I don't think this operator comes back up. So like we said, that was going to be a very big round for Energy in terms of MIBR's economy. A few low buys coming through here in the right side of the map. Nope, they're hovering over to the left. Energy looks like they'll get mid control and just see what this new setup from MIBR looks like without an op.
Exactly, it's what Blade Storm's instead into this round. So you force around a Blade Storm half armor, and you want to fight towards long B. Heat moving forward, dancing around, hit by the flash, and even forced to dash away. Thankfully, he'll get a heal out. Support from JZZ. But yeah, that change of pace, the change of strat from MIBR was quickly spotted by Energy, and that spray did a lot of damage. Heat still under heavy attack. Second cloud burst already used, has almost no utility left. It's gonna be down to his daggers. As MIBR shifting towards the A side because of all of this pressure. Trying to gamble stack towards there. But for Energy, 1 minute mark, still just playing that default.
Yeah, you see the alarm bot just placed down as well by Crashies. They want to be able to hover this area for a little bit, but they don't have time to check out that long. So just leaving, you can see pulling that alarm bot that was just placed, and the intention for this round starts to fall towards B. They've yo-yoed a little bit with that defense from MIBR, knowing it's on a low buy. So all they want is low numbers on this site, and they've gambled correctly. I wonder if we even have Artists pop in here, they play as much contact as possible off the wall.
NRG's just waiting for the toxic screen to come back down to execute, even throwing their own flashes behind the defensive walls. They tap in, and we are playing very cautiously, anticipating some sort of a gamble stack for MIBR towards the B site. Becomes a safe plant. But MIBR have been good on these retakes from JGZ's flash. Artist playing in front of it, getting the first blood here. Right click misses, and support comes down from Finesse. A satchel kill onto Heat. So we talked about the good retakes from MIBR, the slight change from just the forward position from Artist.
Yeah.
Really coming to shine in the last 2 rounds. Once again, MIBR having 2 players forced to save.
And we do say it's kind of a Heat-activated MIBR is the way they play. Well, this is activate Artist. As soon as you saw him go in the back hall, he was just after Finesse's guiding light, right? The timing they have on these set plays right now, even if we saw MIBR back hall, it looked like it would have ended up pretty bad for him. In the end, it still does. You have Finesse with that really nice backup. So NRG playing off each other super well. Everybody kind of solo understanding the situation and never second guessing. That's what gives you these type of rounds here. 7-2 as they get back 5 rounds for themselves. Even with a few in the middle, they bring it back. And mostly to these rounds where they're getting the spike down, right? You can see that on the scoreboard. So they're getting into the site, finding ways to just stall out MIBR, and that's going to call MIBR to bring in a timeout.
Yeah, a nice little victory so far in terms of the battle of coaches, as already in round number 5 up to this second map. You're already forcing both timeouts out of MIBR, so that's none left moving into the second half, where Chet still has the opportunity of using both of his should things fall not into place, actually, for NRG's playstyle. But so far, no complaints.
It's interesting. Recently, when talking to coaches in early timeouts, they always say, well, at the end, you always feel like I should have used it anyways. So just use it early sometimes. Again, in the case of NRG, not feeling like any of those need to be used, but MIBR wants to get ahead of these problems. A little bit of that overhead look from the coach to make them realize this is our goal. A lot of times you forget what your win condition is if you start playing to the other team. The desk said it. NRG might have been flexed to play MIBR's game on Icebox, which we just saw here. NRG much more in their own stride as they come in round to round. Showstopper is back up for Artist here. We actually just saw this a few rounds ago at the A site, helping them penetrate through with that Viper's Pit. And we'll see where else they decide to go.
Time to mobilize my pack.
I think that's the change. MIBR now going back into putting a Vandal into the hands of Heat.
It's a good call.
So allowing maybe the flood retakes to happen too.
That's exactly what I was going to say. A lot easier to retake. Big flank here, or lurk, I should say, by Victor. All the way back. Looks like he might even want to buy another gun on the round.
While he waits passively here, all of MIBR pushed out towards Plaza and rotated towards the B link. So there's already 4 players inside this B side, but it's a showstopper to come out. Unfortunately, doesn't land. Another Rosa as the Seekers are being answered back by JZZ. So an all for alt, a stalemate with 1 minute left on the clock. We're waiting for the rest of the utils, the next wave of the walls to come up here. Meanwhile, that lurk was lost from NRG. Oh, the drive-by denied, clotheslined. 1 more left to go, spotted by JZZ. As that's a great read by MIBR.
We saw how much they stalled it out until NRG had to actually come into sight without utility. That's MIBR just shooting ducks as they crossed into the site there. The mid-fight, I think we're going to see a little bit more now. FRZ and Victor lurking around each other, and FRZ was able to get the better of that round. I think it was really, really big to be able to deny that wall, right, that NRG wants to use to get into sight. So quick plays around the map actually affect what's going on in sight. Props to FRZ there for winning the 1v1. And it looks like they will play not super aggressive towards mid, but MIBR has now put 2 on that B link, where we've seen Artist going quite a bit in the beginning of these rounds to see if they can trade back that harbor wall and the frag. So that's the guiding light they would use until Artist goes in. Right there. Maurice is ready face to face.
NRG's just waiting for the poison armor to come down. There it is. Cascade now with a Trailblazer around the corner, and Artist.
Oh my gosh,
goes for a drive-by without the satchel to get the kill. But RGL just heard that footstep. It's close. Putting that crosshair placement in, the wall bang across, and Artis again with another entry, make that even doubling it up.
I don't think we have to question anymore if he feels like switching roles has an effect.
Just you move. Reckoning into the site. Heat now on a 1 versus 1 in the front of control. JZZ with the support to watch his back. So that's a spike down. Heat dashing forward to fight against Victor here. And wins it. Wow. Okay, the pivot. Spike just got picked up. We're rotating back towards the A site. Artis is stuck by himself in the back of the B halls. Just trying to keep them isolated into the B site, allowing now Energy to try to clutch a 3 versus 2.
Looking at the map for a moment there, Vans. It was so spread out, I was actually wondering who was on offense or defense the way that it just panned out. Energy is really trying to spread themselves so they can figure out how MIBR is playing. And now two to defend the site here. Util to come in. It's just a heal for the team. Guiding Light might come up soon there.
Player standing.
The updraft misses him. Trying to get the backstab timing.
Ness?
Oh, right to the 2!
My ult's
And
ready.
it's not even a happy at the flash to come out, but Heat then swings wide.
Oh, they tried.
And MIBR is able to save that round thanks to that play from Heat, but that was so close there for Finesse.
Heat absolutely turning it up on that one. FNS with the idea of where the last player was. Just a slight sidestep mistake as Heat was still approaching. Artis here doing so much work in this round. The lineup happens, and then just that shoulder. Finesse being closer to the wall, Heat being further away. That's the way it plays out when you get modeled like that. Nicely done for a round to get picked up there as MIBR save another one.
You're actually happy that he missed the first couple of shots that allowed that unintentional lineup.
Right?
2 kills.
We love the collats here.
Last round to go. Full gun round for both teams. As Energy are once again fully focused on the same conditioning towards this B side.
Man, what a few rounds here that MIBR has been able to pull back. And we said they've been going down to the 1v1s almost all the time. They've had to work for it as Energy is putting up this huge first half fight. Artis, again, first kill.
Paint shells at the top 2. JZZ is going to be forced to just get away out of that position. Satchel charges up. As now a Reckoning now comes out on the defense from RGL. Hit by a Trailblazer. Artis somehow still survives in the back. Is doing enough to allow just all of Energy to play the pulse plant. 2 nanoswarms are on the ground. The lockdown's not going to do much because we've played already outside of the radius of the lock-in. Placed down by MIBR. Artis still looking for more and has done some damage. The first nanoswarm to come out. You hear now the high tide coming down too. As that nanoswarm doesn't allow MIBR to tap onto the spike yet. Finesse now stuck in the corner, just running that clock down, doing what he can. And now finally tapped onto the spike. We're just spraying back, and there's just no time left. Energy will still capitalize on the first half to win it 8-4.
Energy coming out in the second game on the top of their game. Artis is 5 kills, 0 first deaths right now. There's no wonder to why they're playing so well in these rounds and being able to convert, because everybody is also there on these retakes, on these site helps. They have such good defensive B. Let Sam throw in mollies, play it patient. Really, really smart stuff from Energy in that first half with MRB slightly coming back. Let's throw it over to the analyst desk to see how they break down that first half.
Thank you so much, Riv. It's an 8-4 first half in favor of NRG. So after dropping their own map pick, they don't seem to be or have lost any confidence here on the second map, putting 8 rounds together.
Yeah, I think they looked really, really solid. I think as soon as they were like, okay, well, we can copycat your comp and we can deny your op and we can deny everything. So we're back.
The site execs just look so well put together for NRG, but this round was bonkers. I mean, JZZ gets 2, and then Victor's forced to scrap in the dirt, bringing it to MIBR, pushing up behind them to be able to take down the lockdown. And this clutch from Crashies to win an anti-eco round that never should have got this close. I think just demonstrating that NRG are forced to kind of get much more brawling in order to bring it to MIBR.
Yeah, JZZ with a 4-piece there, almost the ace to complete it all, but Crashy's had something to say about that. We also charged NRG with controlling heat on that op, as we already mentioned, and it was a big difference there between the Jet and the Raze, and ultimately it seems like the answer is just throw every single piece of utility at him at the beginning of a round, and he won't find anything.
They definitely denied his control of any part of the map, any line, nothing. He was not able to, even on the retakes, he couldn't even peek out with this op and try to kill, like the post-plant scenarios. He was literally stuck behind loads and loads of walls and util and mollies and everything, to the point where his team at the end started just getting him a Vandal. I mean...
Yeah, and the adjustment came a bit too late. We saw a good timeout where MIBR won a couple of rounds after that and really just tried to counterplay the execs that were coming through, especially on B. But at the end of the day, that is a really good bounce back from NRG. They often start these series a little slow and then come out of the gates map 2 or later down the road looking very hot. It seems the same here.
Yeah, now, of course, that all has to get done now for MIBR on the offensive side. They've got 4 rounds plus 1 to make up if they want to wrap it up here in 2 for NRG. Looking to extend this series to a 5th or a 3rd map, rather, and that would be split if we manage to get there. Back over to Vansily and Rib to get us into the game.
Thank you so much, Dash. Yes, Sideshow brings up a great point, actually. Riv, NRG usually known to start very slowly, whether in series, whether in tournaments, and then usually bounce back very, very strong. And it looks to be the case, at least, on how they displayed their attack on Pearl so far. As now that difference comes in, now Artist continue to play that Raze now on defense. Don't think we're going to see an operator with how he's been playing on the entryway of the attack, but let's talk about this battle right here off the flash. It's still MIBR on the top, at least for a short stint, as Victor fights right back. Comes in for the 3rd into the round and even picks up an orb. That's a great start here for NRG. To be brawly, to fight like they wanted to, and also take control of the spike.
FRZ looking for a big lurk here, but it wasn't the right way. Still thinking somebody is coming over from the side of B. Once NRG actually has all 3 around that spike, it doesn't really matter where MIBR is going to come from. So just looking to pick up these final frags. The Ghost from Marines could definitely do some work, but I like the defense we have. The trifecta here. 2 classics and a Ghost set over by the spike. Just making sure nobody's grabs it. Easy. So NRG look like they're going to start off with another round for themselves. This obviously could get pretty freaky, but like you were saying, as NRG does get this energy going into their games, a lot of the times it kind of looks like...
Last player standing.
Looks like potentially Victor with an ace.
30 seconds
As he gets
left.
4 into the round.
Finish
FRZ now spotted by the turret. And Victor and Crashies, the dynamic duo here.
Turret destroyed.
Just looking to play together. Swing off contact as the nanoswarm still available for FRZ. It's not going to do too much. Now both of them are swinging out. 8 HP left. But there's no time. One of them is going to run away, and that's going to guarantee the round then for NRG. And Victor on top of that will get the ace.
And finishing that thought, when they do start winning, it always looked like somebody is wowing you, Vansily. So how about that? That actually worked out really well. It is. It's when it's Artist going into the side or Crashies getting a clutch. There we have an ace coming out. When NRG are able to come back, it feels like they're gassing up one of their teammates, right? And that it just absolutely flows for the squad. A nice ace to come out. That'll definitely gas you up. Feeling pretty good. Victor almost close to ult here to be able to deny where MIBR could go very early. As he goes for that Marshall. MIBR wall towards A, wall towards B.
Okay, so maybe we are going to see eventually an Artist on an operator on Raze because he's already out here with the Marshall this round. No contact on that. At least know that he's also wielding a Marshall into the 2nd round. For the rest of MIBR, all pistols, lurking, breaking util.
Yeah.
With this lurk out from FRZ, out towards Art.
Go get him.
So they throw up default wall on MIBR for Viper. Just to mess with whoever is at B, but this is never the hit, right? MIBR back and forth. Yo-yo the map. How can you push and pull that defensive energy? I think that orb may have been grabbed already. If not, they probably run right by it to start here. Nope, just a little bit for RGL. And we're going into the site, Vance. Great choice on the gamble here for MIBR.
Som just spraying with the Spectre. The first blood there onto Heat. Maurice playing on the top of the staircase to lend one between the eyes of Crashies.
Spike planted.
There was a slight delay as he was able to pull up a small nanoswarm, allowing the rotate to happen early for Energy. As if RZ would mention that flank, that lurk. But it's waited by Finesse. Another one to fall here, so it's going to be an attempt of another person to lurk into the late rotate. High Tide's already come up, the Cove too. Guaranteed a halfway defuse.
One enemy remaining.
Now Artis just continues to spray. Through goes 2 kills. Doesn't even matter for this flank. Energy is now up at 10, and they are looking very convincing on this map, Pearl.
2 very quick rounds. They want to see Split to decide this one. See what the weaponry is. It is going to be just that Spectre coming out for Finesse. Will be fine to call the shots and use the guiding light. But looking at MIBR, this is the attack background. Can they stop the momentum of Energy? If not, this could just fold over into that victory, as Energy is commanding and demanding how this map flows right now, even from the defensive side. Killjoy utility over at A now. Push up to B. The Energy is just trying to make MIBR play sweaty and get in their faces right away if they can.
Even a Trailblazer is only going to spot 1. Energy wants to give that up right away.
Reckoning now comes up. They check the site. Cascade of Horrors. Looks like this actually may hit right now. If we get the dash in from Heat, that's going to be the trigger for the go from everybody else. So not yet. Not yet. This is just waiting.
Ooh, okay. GCC gets a nice entry, though, onto Crashies. Finesse now spotted in the back of the pit. High Tide then retaliated by Energy as they're trying to crawl back into Flower Pot. And Artis gets the paint shell kills onto JZZ. Nobody's really going for a plant, which is going to want to go for a last-minute plant, potentially towards the B site. The Reckoning comes out first.
Yikes.
And Heat catching Som, running away. Heat also dashing away. But all of MIBR is actually looking to re-hit towards the A site.
30 seconds left.
Artis on the off angle.
Last player standing.
Everything being well watched by MIBR.
Really nicely contacted in. That's not often you see once utility kind of takes a breather that a team will just walk in, especially Heat. Heat walks forward, JZZ just behind, and only once they were in the site for quite a while did Heat then activate his dash, ready to move. So MIBR playing that one a little differently to not alert Energy on the re-hit. Nicely done. Little mind games, and they're able to take that round and garrison the site well. Not many go down for MIBR, which spells good things for economy, and we're going to see that down in the dumps for Energy here as we get to round 16. Bit of a B play with that A extremity push coming from Energy again, so MIBR looking to get early fights. 3 just swinging out right away here as they love to trade in the beginning of the round.
Victor's about to cross over. He just got spotted. There's going to be 3 players spraying there. Thankfully, he's got the Toxic Screen. Manages to follow back. And already an early rotate. With the amount of shots that came out here onto screens, he's looking for backup. And all of Energy is currently doing that.
A little bit of a rethinking of the situation here by Energy. You see Crashies move back to B-Link for a little bit of an audio cue if anyone moves through mid, but this back and forth from MIBR. The shots are hitting now, and from Icebox to this, they're still working the map so well to make sure they'll find where the site is freer to hit and safer to post-plant.
And for Energy to gamble the way that they did towards this B side was, of course, seeing that they have a lower buy into this round. So with the amount of shots that came out, where they were hoping for another one of those super late round hits, or super late hits rather, into the round like they did the previous rounds for MIBR. But instead, it's going to be the attackers planning towards the A site. And Energy really clearing everything around the map, trying to find where Maurice could be.
Well, no matter what happens here, a lot of ult for Energy. Next round, it starts off in the back dugout.
He's just holding everybody back. You could definitely see it here for Energy. We're not really trying to go for a tap or anything, trying to keep MIBR within the radius of the spike to go off. Crashy's waiting just behind the high tide. Here's the footsteps.
Terminated.
And then here's that flash. Finesse trying to get the last 2 kills outside of A-Long, but he gets stopped himself. MIBR, no matter what, will still get the round.
Another A push coming in. Obviously, that was going to be a tough one from Energy. MIBR cannot let those rounds feel like they play it slow. They have to be dictating what happens from B, then to A. They haven't worked mid. Energy had a very big focus towards the middle to late game of first half of working Artist mid, kind of finding a fight at B Link. It just seems like it's where's Heat going? Everybody's got this, one of those little baby ropes onto Heat and just follow him around, right? At least 2 people have that trifecta of assistance to help activate Heat. And then once you've either fought at A main or fought at B main, you back up to the middle of the map and re-hit with some gusto. 10-6 now as MIBR start to close that gap. Here, Energy is going to call the timeout.
First one now being called by Chet. By the way, has been looking very handsome lately.
Right? Stoic.
Must admit. But yeah, definitely seeing how Energy have been playing towards this defensive half. Been trying to play more reactively and delays off the Killjoy utility that's being placed by Crashies. They're reading it correctly into the moments, but into these retake plays, into the battles when it's supposed to get brawly. MIBR still seems to pull ahead. And that's what the Des was mentioning before too, how MIBR's played on that first map on Icebox. Look at this one here. Especially playing into the double controller. You want to play inside that little pit that's created from both of the controllers? We'll fight in that. And MIBR slowly finding that groove on the attack as well with that type of playstyle.
Oh my gosh. Reading each other's minds, Vansili.
It's always like that. Couple of flashes on both ends. Still losing Heat for Finesse is a big plus with how Heat's starting to activate onto the second half.
Satchel out.
Meanwhile, here for Energy, they still have their own duelist as Artist is pushing back.
Yeah.
Holding it with Som! Would they both get picked off by Moritz, allowing now MIBR to slowly gain more back control.
Player standing.
Now this man, talked about him before. Unsung heroes in a way that he's been actually lurking around on Icebox before and has put up a stellar performance on these lurks against Crew last week. And we're definitely seeing why they managed to scrape that victory against Crew last week, 13-11. They're looking to bring the comeback into the second half on their attack half against Energy.
Their choice of Pearl. We'll see if this is the reason, right? If their attack half is the one they can really get going. Super cool take into the site. Smart play after Energy's timeout. Recognizing Artist could be going for ultimate. Well, JZZ is one away as well, and they did get the orb, so Seekers for next round. But that was an instant fight to shut down the showstopper from coming in. Both ultimate possibilities were there fighting at A main. And MIBR just comes out swinging on that. So the timeout snuffed out. And MIBR now 3 away on these rounds to get back into this game for a tie. No real different setup here for the side of NRG. Looks like they'll keep 2 on one side, 3 to the other. And we'll see if MIBR even changes up their way of protecting things or pushing into. Still no real mid play we've seen coming from them too much. That was kind of one of the first ones we had an art lurk going into. So here we go. They are going mid.
A mid for attempt of potentially a crunch. A lower buy for Energy. Trailblazer coming out, forcing Heat to activate a dash very early.
Yeah.
So it's a nice little trade-off for utility. Heat still has it activated, so might try to look for something here through the double doors of B-Link. Gains control of Plaza. Finesse is forced to fall back. He's not going to find anybody to be able to heal him because it's him.
They might be able to identify too. RGL being there with FRZ. A lot of the times you'll see Cascade and Guiding Light being thrown together. So that could be even more info for MIBR than we know right now. Well, they just got that too. Harbor's on the right. So that info is now privy to MIBR. Good lurk here by FRZ. But it's going to be the B play, the B hit. They're going to walk right into Crashy's utility to start this off. Nothing really to clear that util, so this is all going to have to be in the moment.
30 seconds left.
30-second pit. And Victor has to play inside it with the Guardian. High Tide now comes out. So a perfect call, a perfect read for Energy. Here comes now the Seekers onto the attack. It's going to come in from the B lane, so that's going to spot Victor right here. Just trying to stay alive, just trying to keep this pit up. A counter Viper's pit on the attack with 10 seconds left. Victor just holding it across the corner. Crashies is there for 2 kills. Comes out to Heat to fight back. Now the spike has been planted. Maritz now dancing out of his pit to be able to get the kill onto Crashies. Showstopper out. Clearing out towards the back of the site. Both did not have to move in. What? Oh my gosh. Maurice still dancing around the pit to get the last kill onto Artis. These preemptive showstoppers that are coming out from Artis, trying to land these shots, trying to catch opponents off guard, just misses the mark so many times on the executions here for Energy.
So many neat things to pick out there for MIBR. Just 2, obviously we saw one at the end there, Maritz playing the dancing game, being able to just get the upper hand, but also the entry onto screens with Heat going up and RGL going under. They would have had such a cool way to penetrate that Viper's pit if somebody was looking up quickly for Heat. So a lot of little in the play distractions, protocols they were creating there to make that happen. 8-10 now. The gap gets smaller. MIBR closes within 2 rounds. They play the same strat we just had from last round. A little bit less B-Link focus to start, but this spread of the members is normal. NRG, though, taking way more space than usual on this gun round. And they do get a bit of info to start off this, but they'll reset. Noise towards B. NRG is going to start leaning one back over there. Artis starts to change position. And they're just leaving A. They're happy with the retake here, Vansily. Plus, they're expecting a reckoning probably to come through.
And interesting enough here for this round, FRZ has an operator in his hands, locking down towards the A site. As he hears nothing, Artis in a battle in a late lurk against Maurice, who now falls back. Seekers is going to spot at least some players very close. Wow. Only 2 players are playing inside the site. Reckoning to come out on the attack. Psalm's just trying to get some sprays through the High Tides. Now he pushes back with his own High Tide to regain space towards the A site, but Heat has already dashed in. Pain Shell's now out from Artis. A little bit of damage onto Heat. But then the Cove comes up in an attempt to plant for MIBR. 13 seconds left. Ran through, but saved by FRZ. Another attempt of the plant. As we're just spraying across, JZZ answers back on the Psalm. 4 seconds left, and finally the plant comes down. Finesse then gets
4v2.
slumped by JZZ. As a 2-player disadvantage comes out for. Make that even up. 3-player disadvantage. Crashy's trying to come out for the clutch.
Wow.
As MIBR, man, they are fighting super well in these close quarter battles.
And Vansily, that round, the minimap told such a story. With such a sight hit coming in from MIBR, we saw Victor at B almost until the spike was permanently planted. They were not ready, right, to come through. We see him now coming in through the R area, but there was such a reluctancy to move, to think MIBR could still be hitting B. This is what they've got in Energy's brain right now, right? Energy is waiting for that fake play to happen, that move back to the other side of the map, because that's all MIBR has done, and it is paying off so well.
Now here comes the last timeout out for Energy as well. So early called into the half. Both teams definitely using here to try to figure out how they want to work their attack. Something that's been mentioned from Maritz as well for MIBR when he was talking about his team's play style. Kind of giving a lot of hype around this roster, around this team, where it's not about like trying to copy the top dogs of Brazil. It's not trying to play the same style as Loud that puts them at the top. They're able to develop their own style, which really, it's a lot of mixes of, yes, you could activate into like the W style of how Heat could be activated thanks to the initiators, but they could also do a lot of these defaults. A lot of slow plays, a lot of lurks that could still work very well for this team. So it kind of really keeps your opponents on their toes. There's no more of that signature hold W.
Right.
Duarbala here for MIBR or just for the Brazilian region.
Been a while since I heard that. Right. But the thing is, I should say, and the thing is, the teams still expect that, right? They wonder, are they doing it? Are they not? So when you don't, it's almost even more of a loop to be thrown for Heat onto Artis, starting off this round.
Spotting it and identifying it. Finesse is trying to do everything under his power to try to get the trade with that Spectre. But would make it out unscathed. 50 armor, 100 HP on Heat. As NRG into this round, yes, the timeout was called, but it's also to try to figure out into the next round, as they'll finally have a little bit more coming through in terms of that econ.
You just mentioned this, fans. They don't always go fast, you know? The slow can happen.
Yes.
They have such a good style now to where they've been hitting site after site, toying with energy, and now it's just silence. How are you going to react to this? Also, I'm sure MIBR doesn't want to walk around a corner and find any of these judges or shorties. Sam has been firing off throughout the series. So they keep it safe. A few of the gun trades around. FRC gets the op here as they head into sight.
Fake bot dance law.
30 seconds left.
He dashes in now because of this Vandal to clear the space. So that's what the trade was for. Allowing now MIBR to do a very safe plant inside the B site with 18 seconds left. Crashy says lockdown though. Energy's closing in. And Crashes gets that first kill on that retake attempt. Som on the top of heavens. Util being used, Util being heard. We're playing behind a high tide, but it's still Energy to fight back.
Enemy remaining.
A 2 versus 1.
Not planning for long.
And it's usually was FRZ that had that lockdown and never had a chance to use it. And because it's not planted for long, it's an easy defuse for Som.
Ultimate ready.
That, it comes down to the plan, Van Silly.
The crowd's like, where's the op?
Yeah.
Where's the op? We didn't want to give it to Artis anyways, right?
No, not going to happen. Just the Marshall if you want that, right? Yeah, that came down to the plant. Interesting choice to want to switch it up for that one just in terms of safety, but it does cost them the round, and they can't keep the op either. That's a retake. Coming in for the side of Energy, though. Cannot deny it. They have been beaten and battered down the past round after round, and they finally stopped the bleeding on a Thrifty. This push happens again, though, so they're not deterred from pushing up and trying to take this space. MIBR might be hitting the shots, but Energy's still trying to formulate plans to putting this game back to a win.
Yeah, that plan there for Energy is really trying to take control of that top B halls. And just trying to keep MIBR aware that there might be some players now positioned, posted up there, forcing them to move towards a different side of the map. They rotate quickly, but as we're jumping across, I don't know if that was actually heard here from those lurkers, from that forward push from MIBR through that mid connector.
One of the few mid plays we have here. I feel like a play like this can activate the Reckoning from Energy and maybe use it falsely, but it's something MIBR has to be aware of. The post plan is not going to be easy here as Energy is going to come swarming in with a lockdown and Reckoning. Already A main control Van Silly. They got to be aware of that.
That's the thing. 2 players playing on the top there. It's traded out, but that's perfect. And Crashes is still alive, so he has that lockdown from that previous round. And him staying alive is huge because it doesn't allow MIBR to play a post plan. Even catching players pushing forward to try to take Crashes down. Some fights one and kills one from behind. 20 seconds left now. Seeker's now coming out. That is courtesy of the attack here from JZZ. Some under heavy attack, hit by one of the Seekers. 13 seconds left. It's being saved by Artis, who comes out toward the back of the site.
10 seconds left.
Things are looking good here. Until then, Spike now falling down.
Spike down A.
So I'm still watching it on a 2 versus 1. No time left for the plant. So no matter what, it is going to be map point for Energy.
Nicely played between the ultimates. They knew how much they could delay. Lockdown gets saved for this round for NRG. They have a bit of a fail-safe. Playing their life in sight is a possibility, but it could be dueling lockdowns. We have a lot of ults to come in here, Van Silly. A play still gets the Killjoy utility. NRG will switch up a bit, but I think they watch mid a little bit more here. They realized MIBR did try to make a play through that mid area to get NRG off on the back heel. A judge for Finesse. Looks like he wants somebody to come right through that B link this time. He's itching for it. It's the B long play, however, as all of MIBR swing for the first frag again. Big damage on JZZ, but it's traded.
There's a gap in that high tide or that cascade that allows for MIBR to move now into this B site.
You should run.
Already, all of the ults are being used into this round. Plant coming in, done. Low HP is RGL, but still stays alive. Throws another cascade, blocking off some vision. Crashy's moving in, doesn't care. Couple of players detained on both ends. But that's a big kill that Crashy's needed. And for the rest of MIBR.
Only one Viper bite.
Here comes that Cove out for the defuse. Half and halfway, but it's being sprayed by MIBR. Only one player left. They're so low on HP. One snake bite at least. Kill from the grave is going to be Victor. But MIBR stays alive. The thing is right here, though, Riv, is that they used all of their ults into the round to be able to win that round. But the silver lining as well for MIBR is that they're forcing potentially a low buy, an eco, out of energy. So this may come down to the last round of regulation once again.
You still have the Blade Storm to come up from Heat. Do they activate, and how hard do they activate Heat here? Rotation in mid from FRZ. 3 stacked by NRG towards A, but also Arc Control if it comes to it. Few ultimates away, so orb grab here would only be for what could happen later in the round. They set up the same start. B cascade, B wall. Let NRG see the same thing. And it might be changed up here towards the middle part of the round, the mid-round calling for MIBR to come into play.
Different for Victor. Look at the toxic screen coming up to try to cover up.
It's
this
much
might
bigger.
help for the retake for energy as well. As MIBR once again are looking for this B hit. Spike's already moving through. Victor already fell down, so that wall for that retake that we just talked about cancels out.
This post plant's going to be tough to retake.
So I'm so close here. Waiting for the high tide to come down. The flash for the peak. RGL not affected by it. It will eventually come down to this last round of regulation. The last 2 players only with frenzies for energy. Well, I mean, it's some damage there from Finesse. 2 kills with that.
But the buy comes through, Vans. What is this last one? Light armor. Looking at NRG for a moment just to see what they do have. Seekers.
Yeah, exactly. From those 2 kills and a death, those Seekers are now available for Finesse.
The frenzy actually comes up so big here. The fight for A main, though. Do they go for this Artist Showstopper fight again? It could also be a Reckoning depending on what they want. And it's just a retakes mentality. Look at where NRG's playing here. MIBR is going to be able to grab this site, and if it's a plant for Maurice, it's a pit as well. So they could lock this down really quick.
They might just want to go for the orb too, because there's 4 players. Everybody's stacked up from MIBR on that side, and there you go. Orb now picked up. Pit is available for a plant. Meanwhile, on the other end, though, we've picked up the Reckoning for Som. So this might become a very, very gruesome battle in the last round of regulation.
Overtime on the horizon.
And the plant comes in once again for long range. There's that pit. There's an early Seekers. Heat pushing towards the spawn. The first blood to Som. Everybody's dropping instantly for our energy. Crashy's low on HP, even at 1 HP inside the pit. And we are indeed going into the extra rounds as MIBR looked very convincing on that hit.
Sides.
Wow.
Overtime.
And MIBR's timeouts, after Energy's timeouts, it just feels like they have been able to reset and find themselves the round needed to get this comeback here. You see the team vibe and Heat feels good. Maurice, that's me. That's not them. This is our game, as he's saying. Oh my gosh. Overtime. Round 1. Let's see what we got. Looking at the compositions, he does it again. He is going with the naked up. He loves this pressure. He loves to put this pressure on his opponents, on the defensive operator. Onto the screen, he's posted up on his perch.
Placing swarm grenade.
And they're actually going to stack the left side of the map here, leaving Crashy's all alone by himself.
Keep in mind also that Energy's utility on the attack with the double controller setup, though, we're really good at nullifying these aggressive positions from Heat on that defense.
Right.
So that's an early Trailblazer, just to really clear out towards control. Counter flash to come out.
They're ready for MIBR to be up long B already, Vansily. You cannot second guess anything. MIBR is around every corner. And Heat here on screens. 13.
Finally has to activate it. Trying to swing out, and he's actually in the radius to get re-healed now. But Saw's watching it. Headshot now, advantage out for Energy, moving into the site. Flash attempted by JZZ, trying to push in through. Artist is getting the satchels in. RGL though continues to spray, putting down Artist. Spike has not been planted because of all of the pressure coming out from MIBR. But thankfully, it's still on the back here of Psalm, falling back towards the pillars. Counter spray is coming through on both ends, but it's just light damage being done. At the end of the day, it is a play advantage for Energy with 30 seconds up on the clock. As this might be the cue for Energy to fight right back. Flash in 3 seconds available.
Standing.
Make that in 0 seconds as Victor just got picked off by JZZ. Or sorry, the opposite. Killed by the snake bite. As RGL now in the back of the site.
Spike planted.
Information's already there. Crashes gets the kill, and Energy's back in the lead.
Can we talk about that Molly on the screen? What the heck?
Match
Really
point.
awesome distraction Molly coming in. Energy with all of the answers there to make that attack and post plant look easy and take it away from MIBR. And they'll call the timeout. Chat wants a word. Let the team know this, and this. Just the 3 points, I promise. And they'll be coming into this next one. MIBR, though, I think they're going to come out very, very strong. We talked about how they gas each other up, and overtime is not a moment to slow down. He still waiting on his buy. He's trolling us. He didn't buy it. Wish I could tell you. But he may not go for the operator. We saw Vansily switches through MIBR, giving the op to FRZ. Rounds when Heat, after they were not winning with the op, going back to a rifle to allow the team to initiate together. So that might be the choice here. When we come back on screen, we see Heat with that Vandal.
An important timeout indeed. Looking now here at Energy on the defense. It has been at least the weaker side for both of these teams, actually. Now to see, do we want to fight back towards that mid? There has been that pressure before coming out of MIBR. Do you want to push outside of that? Do we want to get aggressive through the middle instead of the extremities?
Yeah.
Just to try to catch MIBR off guard. The defaults that MIBR are currently playing, so you want to really try to isolate at least one of those key lurkers, being Moritz, and then deal with JZZ later. I mean, if I was Energy playing, I was like, I got to avoid JZZ instead of...
Yeah, I was just about to mention him. The desk brought up JZZ as well, and mentioning that all of MIBR is on top of their fragging ability right now to make these comebacks happen. Energy forces through. Looks like they find the aim and precision on the last round of overtime, I should say.
Okay. This changes a bit. You have a flash coming out and then also a Trailblazer, but no support coming out from Artist. So only a solo hold in that area. That condition that Energy has been doing towards that B halls before. You saw it being pinged earlier on there by Moritz looking at the control. And because of that, look at MIBR. They're moving towards the A site where there's a 3-player stack from Energy.
Seeing if they can draw any of this utility.
Oh. Pain shells.
Oh, nice mount.
Thrown early. You talked about trying to force out early utility. They're able to do so as Crashies gets instantly traded out by JZZ. Now it's up to 1 player in the back of the site. Solo hold, solo play.
They go back to A here?
Probably not.
Probably not. Not the dive in.
The Spike's committed. And Finesse does get the first turns around on the other end, but JZZ's still there. Spike now moving forward from long B. High tide to move up. And this is not supposed to be some sort of back rotate. This is going to be a late lurk coming out of FRZ.
It's going to have to start coming in.
Tap first onto the Spike. Oof. Now the full plant coming through. Again, buying some time to allow this flank to happen. It's up to Energy to decide if they want to move really quickly now into the site. Boombot already trying to clear out the angles. JZZ prepped up with a flash. Not even needed. Pulls out the rifle first and does get that 3rd kill into the round.
2v2.
And here's that lurk from the bottom to make it a 2 versus 1. Low HP is Psalm at 2.
All targets clear.
It's time to stretch your legs, chat. We might be going a few extra rounds here on Pearl.
Another overtime between these two teams. FRZ comes up big with the lurks, being able to be the pivotal player in the end, that key factor that is the win condition for the round. And it was great call, Vansili. The plant tap to get NRG excited that it's plant, but it was a delay on the plant to still allow the lurk to come in. So way to play the time. If they had planted, maybe NRG comes in right away.
Yeah.
And they don't have that lurk timing. So really smart stuff by MABR to be able to just delay the round a little bit. Now call a timeout. Both coaches going to go right in to get this info to their teams in a tense moment. And MIBR with a chance to close this out. I mean, that said, kind of an upset here when you think about it. NRG was not expected to lose. Now maybe 2 maps in a row. Vansili.
Might just be a day of upsets if this happens. C9 earlier on today, getting that victory against 100 Thieves, this time MIBR.
Yeah.
Showing that top dog ain't top dog. That maybe when you're looking at even at Plat Chat in terms of the tier lists that they have in their rankings, maybe there's no tier break. MIBR definitely pushing NRG to the brink.
Yeah. Five seconds, we're back into this one. It's going to be MIBR back on defense. No real pushes around the map for now. This B-Link has been covered a little bit more, knowing it's a common place for these two teams currently to find that 1v1. A quick hit in. Artist has found a few of his opening rounds there that really got NRG what they have in terms of being in the lead, but that has been closed up by MIBR's map control, playing off of heat, and really using this double controller composition to the max. We see a deeper high tide actually coming through to start for that mid control. Usually just goes around the inner wall as MIBR look to take this space, figure out what NRG's doing right off the bat.
They've done this, getting the high tide out, but usually it rotates over the B-Link. This time, it's MIBR that's looking to push. Crashies is waiting, though, while the execution happens towards the B side. Crashies gets the information on 2 players, so some room to breathe for NRG to plant inside this B site. The heal coming up now for Finesse. On to his teammates. The plant's a little bit deep. So there's an opportunity to do a safe defuse if MIBR can move in here from that B-Link and then initiate the defuse from there. Only Artist is playing towards the back of the site. Maurice is moving forward. That flash assist allows for him to get another one. Finesse answers back. There's only one left to go. It's RGL, 31 HP. Cove up, full HP and armor are 2 players. He lands a nice one there. Cascade up, tap onto the spike. The gun doesn't get through. Victor so smart. Victor so smart for that win. And NRG once again regain the lead.
He gives him the barrel of the
Switching
gun,
sides.
Vansili.
Match point.
Oh, that's so cheeky. Not even the jump peek for the shoulder, just the barrel of the gun. Wow, that's a heady play right there, coming in from NRG. Easy, quick shot to end it out. RGL. I thought RGL actually had an angle there, especially with the cascade coming out. So really neat to see how each player is just interpreting the situation. NRG make that look quite easy as Victor picks it up. 14-13. NRG back in the lead here, up to MIBR for the aggressive strat. So we're about to get the wall drop.
We're getting the Doug and Sideshow treatment.
We are. The longest
Bear is about to come up and then boom.
Technically, it is a pause. KJ or Killjoy Utility is going to be set up at B here for this, and an interesting time to have a pause. I'm sure MABR wants to get right into this round, focused on that B setup strategy again, where it doesn't look like they would end there unless we see the kill in B-Link, unless we see that FRZ has been able to identify either by audio cue or visual cue on his util. There has been a bit of a rotation. That's when we see MIBR really use the snap judgment. We see Artist here talking with Stage QA.
Yeah.
See what is up.
There's definitely no visual cues for now, as we seem to have a monitor issue now with Artist. So we're just going to get that fixed real quick and
turn
then
it
continue
on
into the overtime.
It helps.
Did you turn it off and on again? Did you try that? But yeah, that definitely breaks the hype that you bring into the following rounds here, especially how NRG was able to retake or at least hold the pulse plant. MIBR, who's usually very good of like using JZZ to flash, have the other ones push out and get the first entries, the first kills on the retakes. And this is one of the few moments here on a pulse plant on B. They're able to hold it strong for NRG. It didn't have to be one of those moments where it's just like 5 guys spraying through smokes onto a long B plant.
Honestly, I feel like that's what we're getting a lot of the time. Phantom Supremacy has reared its head quite a bit here recently in the meta. We still see Vandal lovers around, but man, the amount of double controllers, Phantom just plays into that. NRG, bring us to split if they're able to take this next one, which honestly is kind of a toss-up for both of these teams, with NRG having a map on it and feeling pretty good. We do not know very much of what MIBR can bring to the table, so I think we get another very back-and-forth game if we go to that here. Tech Pause in our second game, second overtime too.
Yeah.
They're going into third, or I guess still second overtime, second half of all the twos. I'm partial to thirds, honestly.
Too many numbers. Too many numbers for me to think about.
Never. 70% to the 6 now. I'm just kidding.
No, but at least when you're looking back here at these compositions for both of these teams playing this double controller, how do you see this play out so far? For me, it's very hard and very difficult playing around like this single initiator, at least on the defender, have to try to get information into the late rounds, into the mid rounds, because there's really only that Skye. How do you rotate players across? And for the rest, it's just, okay, well, if it's not going to find information on one, get on another part. You're gambling stacks off rotates off information that you're potentially getting or not getting off the Skye. And when you're playing against a team that defaults into a double controller, it's very hard to get those correct reads. And I think that's why we're seeing a lot of back and forth here on the defensive side.
It's almost really a mirror comp, except for Heat and Artis. I think that's why you get such an even matchup on these takes. It's kind of a mirror of the utility you'll have to answer each other, create your own angles, and then it's what can those duelists do? What can they promote? I think for the side of Energy, we said that star power is one of the things that plays in big here. If these rounds are coming down to the 1v1s and whatnot, you want the SOM getting the 4Ks, the point where they can gas themselves up into these situations. MIBR has been very lurk-oriented in the way they get these kills. It's always very kind of under the radar, is the perfect way to say it, that they have the back of NRG. So I think if they can provide that again, they can start to work the map. NRG doesn't have a chance to get these highlight frags or double multi-kills coming in.
Yeah. And let's talk about that difference between the Heat and Artis. I don't know if you did, Rick. I'm sorry. I just had...
No, you did.
You're saying that
I was saying
monitors,
numbers about kills. So obviously numbers.
But let's talk about those differences here between Heat and Artis. The op versus the rifle as well. The type of entries that you're getting on Artis so far versus Heat on the operator from round to round. How do you see this playing out? What's the plus and the minuses for the duelists from both of these teams?
I think with Artis, Energy has to be, and this is kind of a plus and a minus, is that Energy has the chance to explode onto a site a little bit faster, but I feel like the distance that Raze creates is a lot harder to catch up, right? If you talk about cutting off the duelists from their team, I feel like that's much easier to do for a Raze and their team than it would be for a Jet. A Jet's going into the smoke and creating chaos and still hidden. Raze doesn't really have much to hide in unless that utility is facilitated already. So the fight happens right when the Raze goes in. Everybody has to be there. The fight with the Jet, it's a little more surrounded by the team before Jet pops out of the smoke and plays a jack-in-the-box surprise. So that's a big difference. I think that calls upon Artis to really have that first kill potential, which we've seen in this series, called upon and answered, and they've been able to shut down Heat in the other sense of that, where Heat's not getting a lot of those frags we're seeing this time. Still 19 and 20, but usually leading the charge in a lot of these, and Energy's able to shut that down.
Artis, for me, at least what I like to see, potentially, maybe, I'm not the IGL, I'm not how the comms are really going right now here for Energy, but I'd like to see them hold on to these showstoppers a little bit more when they're trying to regain space or gain the space into a map so that everybody gets exactly, and everybody else can keep into positions or get into positions before we're able to actually resume into the post plant. And speaking about resuming, we actually had a chance here to reboot the computer of Artis, so we're going back into the game. So thank you so much, friends here in the Riot Arena, for your patience. I saw a couple of you do the wave right there.
They're ready, gassing themselves up in the tech pauses. You gotta love it.
And ready for a third map potentially, because I heard a lot of Energy fans in there hoping for this third map to happen, and it's almost there. Map point now for Energy, 14-13.
This setup has been rock solid for Energy. They play it every time.
Weapons off.
You said, what'd you say? It was rock solid for energy?
Rock solid, yeah. Every time. I think we actually might get a tech here, as we did see the play wasn't according to Artis on his screen. They're going to be looking back to QA, so we'll get another quick pause. Vans, you cursed it. You absolutely trolled everybody.
I think I was Gucci. We podcasted getting ready here into the map up, but unfortunately, yes, everybody's just trying to figure out, can you spot the differences on that rooster of that B-Link door?
Can you? Yeah. They're the same, by the way.
Yeah, so we'll wait and see what we currently have here as soon as we get the updates for you here, chat and audience, to let you know when we could actually get back into the game. But again, this is going to be a little bit unfortunate, though. You're looking at the early rounds where it was a very slow start for MIBR. Once again, another one of those slow default rounds, and then an explosion into the B-Link that could indicate a lean towards a mid-hit. But now, that could potentially be one strat that's just out the window.
Right. You play that, you hope to be able to make it work, and everybody's on the same page. I think it's the do we run it again kind of potential. Yeah, I think they do. It's a solid start looking for the 1v1, and you can play it anywhere else on the map. Just for a quick idea, we are going to get that round replayed, so they're just going ahead, resetting it. We're going to get back in, no problemo for this one. Just a little bit more of a wait. Thank you so much for your patience online and here in-house. But yeah, looking at how that works, it's the 1v1 fight, so they can go to look for it anywhere. I don't think we get these, orb fights for long, right? Nobody wants the orb, but that is a place you can fight for 1v1. It just becomes more of this. Everybody's piled up. I think the corners favor the side of NRG when you're getting that A fight. You have the box to hide behind and a few more angles, so maybe the mid fight happens again, or MIBR does their, we're rushing out long B, give me a quad swing by everybody and see who will give us the first peek. It hasn't been Victor. Victor's staying back on his util. They keep that wall up and just make sure that they can clear. And I like the way that Energy's been coming back in to clear. They don't take front side of Hall. They take back side of Hall when their B wall is up on defense. And they're able to kind of hit more of a two-pronged attack on it. I think that's why MIBR has been having such trouble. Words are hard at that B site post plant.
Now for MIBR, you're looking, you talked about the pushes towards mid, the work towards long B, the explosion towards long B, and not too much talking about the A side in terms of like the early rounds for Energy, especially on defense, when you're throwing the high tide rather, and the guided light, trying to push a triple play from Energy on that side of the extremity. They've been very, very resourceful and successful at not only winning the gunfights, but also orb control. So maybe that's one of the things that MIBR is like, okay, let's try to forfeit that a little bit more into our early game, into our early plans, and maybe try to finally, once they find the opportunity to work back towards the A side, add that extra piece coming out from one of these timeouts, definitely not tech pauses, but one of these timeouts here that could be called out from Maurice and from BZK to make sure that you can try to capitalize on Energy's aggressions on these extremities.
MIBR has played 3-1-1, whether that's 3 towards A or 3 towards B, leaving FRZ and Maurice on the flank. We're going to be diving back into this one.
Yep.
Straight in. If you're just joining us, it is second overtime here. Possible game point for Energy.
Definitely give yourselves a round of applause here, chat. And also to the audience for your patience as now, once again, we're restarting things, resuming things with NRG. Back at map point, looking to push this to the third map, which would be split if they're able to do this now. If they're able to hold another round against MIBR, who once again are looking for a very fast execution, at least into the early rounds towards the B side.
NRG with that mid control right off the bat. You guys saw Trailblazer almost go all the way into spawn and spot out FRZ, but I don't think they actually got a catch. That's definitely aware that somebody is in B shops. This is really first time Artis is being the one committing to a site here. Usually that's Maurice. Artis is not floating on this one. He's gonna choose B.
I love as well from MIBR, yes, you had somebody that got spotted towards B shops, but they had 2 players watching flank. And while Maurice actually got picked off by, or at least a guided light to give his position away, you still had FRZ at the top, leaning forwards towards the top of Plaza, to hopefully catch somebody off guard. But now that they realize that there's no pressure coming in here towards that mid side, that's an opportunity for a late lurk. That said, though, with 35 seconds left, running into the site, the dash through an Artist greets Heat by spraying across, but the snake bite evens up the tally on a 4 versus 4. 30 seconds left, everybody's forced to fall back, re-heal, and re-hit for MIBR towards this B site.
4v3.
Sprays across the end, Artist falls. But we still have at least some players inside the site. Some moving towards the back end.
Delay.
10 seconds left on the clock. The flash! But it does not connect here onto JZZ. MIBR still has something left to stay. They still have some grit. They still have some fight. And we're going into another round of overtime.
We don't even need to plant the spike that time. Just pushing through the site. And almost in a solo scaling formation. Right? One back calls, another pushing, knowing that they just had numbers up, confidence in each other to get the anchor. And after MIBR had dumped all that util, it came down to the accuracy, and they came out on top. Here, Maurice just pushing forward after those walls fall. JZZ on back haul as well. We just mentioned those two members. Still able to bring up big frags. 14-14 Vansili as we go OT once again. Mid control now for Energy. No pushes. I thought we were going to see MIBR push out towards A main here. They may still choose to do so, but it's just going to be a Trailblazer to check and get info on the map. They feel like they don't know enough of what is going on.
Cautious about it, right?
And they keep pushing, though. So using that to get the extremities, as you were talking about.
Yeah. So you could definitely see it from that radar. Jiggle peaks coming out from Maurice. Meanwhile, though, Finesse rotated back from Art onto the top of Plaza and heard that Trailblazer on the other end. So they're like, okay, well, the flash still on the other end towards the A site. Less utility now for MIBR towards B to try to stop any type of pushes that we could do here towards the B site. But it's Heat Glass Cannon.
Yeah, that op ringing out. Forced to push out of the site. Great little bounce on the molly, and now they're going to have to retake fully here. 5v5.
Oh, the timing on that one, too. Oh, he dashes! Face plants right into the wall!
Bomb buddy out.
And Artist runs him over. Now here comes the Boombot towards the spawn. Just to see and spot another player towards spawn. And it's all players of MIBR looking for the high-low. A big play off the flashes once again from JZZ. Artist is blind, forced to fall back. There's only one player playing towards the back of the site. And it's an assist for a flash to allow Son to move forward. A good look so far on Energy for a post-plant. High Tide about to come down. Artist with a third. Allowing Energy to get the third into the round. Only one left! And it's Sam putting Energy back at that point.
Almost a flawless as well.
Switching sides.
Energy saw the op. I feel like they punished the op, right? Yeah. Well, we did see Heat smashing his face into a wall on accident on that dash. The amount of space Energy took as soon as they heard that first op shot, again, depletes what Heat can do from that range.
Yes.
We a broken record, but it's how Crew really started to take Heat down as well. Energy's identified it, and they keep doing it when they can. Now onto defense. It's up to Energy to stop the aggression of Heat and the team who went back to the Vandal buy here. This mid play, once again for the 1v1, a quick one-way will stop it for now. But this is just a rotation back to site now for Energy. No early fight, so they go for quick and easy fundamental site holds.
Even on the A side, it seemed like we pushed forward to grab the ore for Artist, so denying that one on the attack, anything for MIBR. 3 players re-aggressing towards A long, giving up all of the mid connector, all of the A site.
Blinded.
Trying to fight against FRZ, who does get the wall bang through the wall, but Sob's around the corner. And there's that first blood. An advantage for Energy that could come huge. But we talked about the space that was forfeited towards the A site, now gained towards middle for MIBR as they're looking for a 2-2 split.
Back call for 2. It's a big defense for those. All up to Crashies and Victor now, unless the team can get here in time.
Cascade, Jiggle Peak, Victor now snake bite on the ground. Dash coming in from Heat. An assist potentially coming across. Support from the end. It's going to be Artist at the top. Only one kill needed. It's Maurice at the bottom. And it's a Satchel to the kill. Artist comes back to fight with the rest of Energy. And we are going to a third map.
That is the sigh of relief from Energy. The entire team coming together there at the end. Artis being able to pop off as well to bring us to a third map, to bring us to split, to decide who's going to take it between these two teams. And they can't have given everything here. That was a long one, but game 3 is going to ask for even more here, Vansili.
It's insane. It's intense so far for both of these teams, definitely. It's a long day for both of these teams, and especially for everybody watching these two series so far. We saw a great series earlier on today, but this one right here, promising now a great third map coming up on Split. Both of these teams that we haven't seen too much so far in the Americas on this map.
It's going to be awesome. I think we have to actually see both teams reach deep into that strategy bag here on the next rounds. And we'll have to see different styles of play. We'll get that operator back on both sides. We'll have to see what Artis picks for and what the teams decide to continue playing here. NRG, we saw them actually from one week to another switch on to a double controller comp. So they're adapting. We've seen the adaptation from MIBR, Vansili, and it's giving us one hell of a series.
One more time, thank you so much for your patience at home in the chat and also here in the Riot Games Arena. Go stretch your legs, go grab some hot water, hydrate, because when we come back, it's going to be another map here on Split.
Some great stuff out there today.
Some days, you just need it. Comfort for every moment. Snuggle Super Fresh with 5-in-1 odor elimination.
Back when I had a working circulatory system, you had to give your right arm to find great talent. But with Upwork, there's highly skilled talent from all over the globe, right at your fingertips.
This is how we work now.
Spring is in the air, and it smells like...
It can be a memory or a feeling.
We did some great stuff out there today.
Some days, you just need it. Comfort for every moment. Snuggle Super Fresh with 5-in-1 odor elimination.
Bro, one more time. Where the drip, let them cut from a different talk to my competition later.
Jif Peanut Butter. It's that jiffing good. Ludacris changed his flow for it.
Make a move in the most electrifying Honda vehicles yet. Like the CR-V and Accord, with available hybrid powertrains designed for more responsive performance and more advanced tech. When you drive a Honda, you're driving with the 2022 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand. Get moving and find the Honda for you. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Trust yourself. Find your release point. You practice.
They think that I'm a new jack, but only if they knew that. They who think wrong or fake who can't do that style that I'm doing. They might ruin. You can get for this. I ain't no joke.
Looking for more than just accounting software? QuickBooks has a full suite of business solutions to help your business thrive. Easily add on solutions as your needs grow. Accounting software, payroll, payments, time tracking, virtual bookkeeping, and more. It's never been easier to get started with QuickBooks. 50% off for the first 3 months. Free guided account setup. No contracts. QuickBooks. Let's build your business together.
Welcome back, everyone, to VCT Americas, where it went the distance and then some. They're on map number 2. It took triple OT and eventually a defensive-sided victory sideshow for NRG to push us to a third and final map.
Good God, I didn't think there were any of the teams were going to be able to win a defense round at any point there. But I think it showcases how good the comps are at being able to, push away that early round aggression, get into a plant. However, those comps are also supposed to be really good at retakes, and they just could not figure out how to get it done. Both teams at like 20% retake win rate.
Yeah, I think ultimately it came down to the Jett versus Raze difference in the comps, because that Raze had the nades, had the satchels. Artist was able to take sight, take space, take fights. It was really, really good delay, for the plants and everything. And I feel like on the defense side, his nades managed to help them get the round at the end of the day. The way that he was playing it, his satchels were really, really good. Meanwhile, he just kind of got denied anything the whole time. And obviously, once he switched to the Vandal, he started getting more impact. But then again, it's he doesn't have nades, he doesn't have delay, he just has space taking.
Yeah, to that end, Sideshow, we got to go all the way back to round number 9 to get a good example of it. But we did see NRG doing work to contain Heat on the Jett.
Yeah, and this is an example where he's not even opping, but look at that. I mean, he's got smoke in his face, flash in his face, Cascade pushing him back as well. There's just so many moments like this, and when he was picking up an operator, he even tried it in OT one time, where he was just stuck on the site with an op in his hand, and he's got no way of knowing where people are coming from, got no value, just caught out. So, yeah, I think that they did a great job of neutralizing that threat, and that was something that they weren't able to contain on Icebox. He just ran over them, and so did JZZ. Whereas this time, you see Artis actually able to get much more value, like you were saying, and find more opportunities to fight. Although everyone was just on B the whole time.
Yeah, everything was on B.
Everything.
We saw that tweet.
Yeah, everything was B.
Everything was B except for there was that one brilliant play on A. Where we were blocking shots, the pass-through shots from Cubby, which was pretty epic. I mean, that was the one MIBR round that I was like, all right, see, A's an option.
There are some bonkers rounds throughout that entire map, to be honest, and it again just showcases how close these teams actually are. I don't think NRG were expecting MIBR to have a good Icebox at all. And even when MIBR are happy to pick Pearl into NRG, we know both of those teams are decent there. It goes the full distance. There really isn't that much gap between these two teams, and who knows the third map.
No, I'll tell you how little gap there was, too. We still have another round to look at. That's round 20, because I think if there's any round that MIBR is going to be kicking themselves for, it's this one here. It's NRG on an eco in a post-plant situation here for MIBR, and they let it slip away.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the thing that we're talking about, where all the util comes in so handy, but NRG just came in, they rammed it down, they ran into back hall, and they could not get denied anything. And obviously this plant spot was so bizarre, because at the beginning of the round, they got the site for free. NRG gave up the site. And so planning in the safe spot really, really ruined the round for them. Obviously not really able to get a kill on that diffuser, and at the end of the day, it's what do you do against that?
Right, exactly. A tough spot to be in. A sick thrifty there for NRG, and it would give them the one round that they would ultimately need to be able to take the series in the end. A quick message, though, for all of you Silver players out there, and I guess I should be saying this to myself, too, then, as a Silver player represent. Good comms, they can definitely win games. Check out how NRG and Sentinels work as a team in this open mic.
We stay out this and we flood after if they go here. I go C there.
Yeah, he's not B, he's not B.
Yeah, it's not B.
Playing C, I think.
I can flash this
on bomb. Can you get in, John? Can you get in? We don't need you off. Play Spiral.
I'm playing Spiral, I'm gonna smoke ceiling.
Heaven, in heaven.
Yeah, close is waterfall.
120 on Killjoy.
Watch out of this, okay? Heaven dead.
Don't peek, guys. He doesn't know I'm here.
Try and help Artist if you can.
One more spot! Oh my god!
Don't peek. Don't peek.
Nice! Hunting.
They can be indoors, so...
It's pointing first if we play out here.
Get out. We gotta get out as soon as this goes.
Open tree.
We gotta get back out. Come. Side.
Come in.
Okay.
Go side right now.
I'm blind.
He's middle side, 29.
Just side.
One more.
Yeah. Nice. I'm blind.
Tapped it.
Nice!
He goes there.
Yeah, I'm flashing. Ready?
Go.
Flashing.
Yeah.
Fine.
I'm blind.
He's in the smoke, around us.
More. Peeking.
Nice.
I'm smoking. They won't expect your god, John, if they're god.
Come, Artist, you're just gonna bait me, okay?
Yeah.
They might have dog.
You have a wall or something?
No, no wall.
I'm gonna smoke off tree room. Wait. Everyone
Hit. Nice.
I smoked
Maybe tree.
Molly's on.
Yes!
Let's go.
I got... Yes! Good f***ing retake. Good ult off.
10s. Come on, buddy.
Communication is key as always, and I think doubly so when you think about moving on to a map where there's so little data about how either you or your opponents are going to play on that. And that's what we were talking about when we looked at Split being the third map in this series here, Athena. We don't know much about how these teams are going to approach it.
Yeah, I'm actually curious if it's going to come down to another comp diff, because we've seen both these teams have their moments. We've seen both these teams have players that can multi-frag. We've seen both these teams delay, post-plant, retake, everything. So I think for this matchup, obviously with how close it is, it's going to be really, really interesting to see, you know, which comp is going to take it to the next level, or if it really is just going to be a one-sided map for either one of these teams.
It's so bizarre because they've both recently played against Loud. That's their both most recent games, and they got destroyed.
Yeah,
by
not
Loud.
many rounds.
13-3, 13-5. So I think also another part of this is which of the teams has been in the lab and created something different. And that might be a comp change, or that might be a different way of approaching the map, or it might just be getting more familiar with it because some of these teams, you know, haven't been scrimming all of the maps. Not many teams have a full map pool to really work with. So I don't think we know which team is going to be favored here whatsoever. It can go in either direction.
No, so let's wildly speculate, shall we? No, I mean, what really I think one of the questions too becomes, what did you learn in playing against that World Championship team in Loud on this map, right? Because you could just as easily theory craft it yourself. You can also take a loss to another team and try to emulate that going forward.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they know there's an A site this time. Who knows?
One can pray. One can pray.
I mean, the B site was working. Why would you change it?
Yeah,
Why
right?
would you ever run towards A when you're winning every attacking round on B?
Yeah.
I mean, neither team could stop it. Split is so different. There are so many different comps that can work here too. And if you're going to look at the obvious like duelist matchup, Artis has got another good opportunity to play Raze.
Yes.
They could play no duelist compositions here pretty easily too. You can play double smokes. That's viable. People have played double duelist. That's viable. There's so many different ways that you can approach this map. And I think more so than any comp being better than anything else, personally, my thought is it's about the approach that you have and how much is like drilled. To me, Split is a lot about how you retake space on the defense side. Do you have a protocol where you can retake B main in the mid round in order to gain back that information? And I think proactivity is going to be key. When I'm looking at these two teams, MIBR are fearless.
Yeah.
I don't think they even need a plan to retake areas. They're just going to swing in. Just absolute Chad behavior.
Yeah, I think energy starting on that defense side is going to be really, really important for the momentum for the rest of this game. Hopefully they bring the momentum from that last map into it, and they kind of show that, you know, we can be fearless too, because like you said, I mean, taking map control, taking that early space, or being proactive is a lot better on this map than just being purely reactive.
All right, well, we do get a Raze, and actually a Raze on both sides, so Heat gonna flip over to the Raze from the Jet, but it'll be Victor manning the Raze here on the side of NRG.
It is a swap up, and it's actually somewhat reminiscent of the kind of times where we've seen them play, you know, Lotus before, Crashes in FNS, out there playing the double flash kind of composition. Didn't work great from there, but I think Split's more of a map where Victor can be empowered to just dive in super deep and get those entries working.
Yeah, I mean, that stun coming in with the flash, the dog clearing space, like I think it's, again, a lot of work for Jet to work with, but again, we do have the double controller, so they do need that extra initiation to kind of set it up.
Well, there you have it. We all know that MIBR loves to go to a third map, so this was basically inevitable. Let's go ahead and find out, though, who comes out on top as we send it back over to Van Silly and Riv for the call.
Thank you so much, Dash, Athena, and Mustacho. Yes, indeed, third map being split, and, you know, Sideshow was wondering who's going to be in the lab after they got, you know, both losses to Loud, and it seems like both of the teams did, because we have a switch up in comps, a switch up in roles, especially into the energy camp, and we're now looking into this game where, you know, we're going to try to figure out who's going to get the best out of this, because this is brand new for both of these teams going head-to-head, face-to-face with these different comps.
God, that zoom in, seeing the size of Split was disorienting. The size of this third match and what it means for both teams too. MIBR, like the Death saying, enjoying third, so they know what it takes to be in a match that goes this far this series. And NRG is going to start on that defensive side. Full util spread. Here we see 4 artists across the map. We talked about that role change. And keep an eye on how it plays out. Early utility to come out, figure out what's going on at A here. Victor is deciding whether to go back and forth. It looks like a re-hit from MIBR, but they're going to cut noise for now.
Lots of frenzies in the hands of MIBR too. Uriz with the ghost. Trying to clear it out, allowing here a little bit of that space to be gained and work towards the A heavens. Meanwhile, for Victor, trying to get a lucky spray through the smoke. But is going to find information after this boombot comes out. As soon as it pings something, oh, he heard the shots at least. But it won't activate the pain shells quite yet. Only spotting the Viper is huge because this is still no indication that it's a hit towards the A side for MIBR. Usually just a lurker playing that. A little bit of tap damage being done, and Victor's done his job.
On util search right now. Just bounty hunting whatever utility they can find. Is a nade up towards the heaven area possibly? No, Heat's nade is down. They're going to have to take this by force.
And Som doesn't have any stars to go for Gravel's paint shells, so he's just trying to peek out with the frenzy. Nato's starting to push him away, but we're committing now inside this B site for MIBR. Artis trying to fight back and will be able to do so. Uriz trying to gain control of the map, dropping from the heavens.
Artis?
As the ball line comes through, the assist for Som to get the kill. A 3 versus 1. FFRZ answers back. Plan attempted, running out, gets a headshot to finesse, but there's not going to be any plant coming through. The round is still going to come in for NRG.
Incredible classic use there, as well as just overall picking up the last frags in the round that are necessary by NRG. So strong in these rounds, and we actually see the retake here. It is a difference as we watch the replay of a compositioning having that double controller, but also you see NRG with this breach. So good at retaking on split in the alleys and little hallways that Breach can really use the fault lines and flashes. So NRG will always be very happy to kind of swarm back into the site with this composition that they have, backing each other up on that util for the double controller of MIBR. Now to the right side, we see this Viper wall already down by Muriz. Same as first half, so rinse and repeat for the first few seconds.
They can cuss.
See how they take the play after this. No damage there. I thought that actually was a dog bite real quick. And another point to that is, you see that he makes it up that ramp by himself. It's gonna have to be a guiding light, right? This isn't an Omen comp. There's no paranoia to help that. They all have to work together very big if they want to take this space.
Just trying to slow things down. Pain shell for fault line. Flash allowing MIBR to move up towards the A ramp. Slow lurk though. This could, oh, okay. I was gonna say this could be another one of those, let's go down the ropes and then move in here towards the B heavens. Trying to prod the map to see where they could get an opening. Instead, it's space gain, no kills. And MIBR are looking to regroup here towards this A heavens.
Just kind of figured out how weird it was that Victor still has a frenzy and 1,500 in credits, getting the first kill of the round. Yeah, NRG making this work, installing MIBR out on this A hit.
23 seconds left. Now you gotta move. Prachi is trying to keep the trigger discipline. Yes, he falls, but Elise is good enough for the last two to pick up the last kills. And that becomes a clean bonus round for the third one, it is.
Yeah, they're gonna have a lot of money, so if they want to buy for the bonus, not a problem. Okay.
They are?
No shot. An operator on Victor's raise here on that defensive side. It's going to be shooting down through the rope area.
On bonus round.
On bonus round. You have the chance to give this to Heat, and it'll be a quick tell if they win the round and Heat doesn't want to pick it up also. It'll be interesting to see. Same wall coming out from MIBR. They're going to be playing towards the left side of the map and actually putting a little bit of pressure towards mid, so Victor could choose right here.
Chose right indeed, satcheling away. Heat falls, so that's not no op in the hands of Heat. Into the ground round for MIBR. No capitalization on space gain for the Brazilian side as early with 120 left on the clock. Just got to try to figure things out.
Alt orb for lockdown. Could be a quick FRZ play if they want to get themselves into the site with no trouble. They have to lock this. They have to clear that spot though. Dry peeks it and gets hit by Victor.
Almost
right spot, right time. Yeah, twice in a row now.
RGL got hit down to 19 HP and had to be re-healed by JZZ. That was almost a collateral from Victor, who has put a huge impact into buying this off early in the bonus round of energy. And now it's time for W Streamer to do it.
Got the dog.
Yeah, indeed.
One down.
Falls
One
back.
shot, one kill.
Has support right now from Finesse. Fully flash coming out here from JZZ as a fault line comes across. A kill from above. Maurice lurked up from the B heavens. Snakebite though missed. Oh, Som does get the hit onto Maurice.
Some player standing.
But couldn't get the second one there onto JZZ. It's up to Artis, a 2 versus 1. You could definitely see though for MIBR, focusing more on trying to win the round instead of capitalizing on getting that operator. Artis does not have the weapon for this distance on this high-low. And it's too weak for JZZ's peak. And that's going to be the gun round coming in for MIBR. And we will pick up that operator in the end.
Did they? Oh, they finally did. It seemed like they were considering it. And remember, that was a huge round from Victor to win the Frenzy out. And you can see what kind of money Energy have. So that's why they purchased. No worry for the Energy fans. They still have money. But MIBR is going to be hungry with this op. FRZ takes it than Silly. So you're going to keep the lockdown alive. Let Heat run forward. You want FRZ to play more of a protective position this round. So that lockdown is available. Crossing the map. They got the 3-2 split like they like to, with one in mid and one on the extremity as MIBR looks for this ramp play. Oh, no control there. Nice job by Artis.
Phantom Supremacy once again through smokes. And that's the lurk down. That's the smoker down. And any type of stars coming down may indicate just a full hit in for MIBR. That said, you mentioned the operator in the hands of FRZ. This is not unorthodox. We've seen that on that second map of Pearl. Now Turret spotting a couple of players, and Victor is about to get pinched from both ends. Boombot now coming out. Victor looking for timing on the top. Oh, and RGL comes down.
No way.
And as he is aware of that, turns around a little bit too late. RGL still gets the kill.
Great patience, too. Just Crashies trying to find an audio coup, trying to figure out where he could use this guiding light next. There you go. Waterfall down? Oh no, straight up top. And here's the lockdown we were talking about from that orb grab previously.
30 seconds left.
Artis is just trying to stay back there. Crash is staying in the back.
Spike
of the radius.
Spike's up top.
Oh, the only gets 3 kills into the round.
Player standing.
That's a 1 versus 1. 16 seconds left. Now FRZ picks up the Vandal. Crashy's just holding his ground.
10
Seekers
seconds
are
left.
available. He's not using it. He's just looking instead to get posted up for the kill. He gets 4 into the round. And that's 3 for Energy.
It just does not matter for NRG. They're switching roles from map to map. Crashy's still feeling comfortable here in the back of the site. Being pushed out by the lockdown, too. Had to back up quite a bit there and still get that long-range angle. Just another day at work. Doesn't even seem phased. 3-1 now for NRG. Ultimates on their side here for the Cosmic Divide on the side of MIBR as they look to focus mid. MIBR keeping the wall up towards A so they can always play toward if necessary if they decide to go rope or anything different. Mailroom delivery coming through.
And it's returned to sender. Victor getting the first kill, but thought he would get the second one onto FRZ. At least Crashes is there for the trade. And that pressure you mentioned there from Finesse, bringing out the breach into the play.
So good.
The mid-round fault lines, the pressure they could add in. It's just too much now for MIBR. But at least from that battle, a lower buy that you had on the attack, Maurice is just waiting to see if he can pick up that judge. He's gonna get it here. So that's 2 judges now in a Vandal. For the attack side, to just cut noise and try to refine information. And that's great information right there, courtesy of Crashies. Scouting all the way from spawn. To allow FNS here to just, or should I say even Artis to play towards sewers and wait off this alarm bot if the hit's gonna come to A.
Oh, Crashies.
30 seconds left.
Just waiting.
Saw a gun.
Here.
The barrel of RGL pings it out. You're just gonna let them through. okay to play the retake is Energy, allowing MIBR to move out towards the A site. Artist, meanwhile, is just waiting for this wall to come down. The timing on that.
10 seconds
He's about to get backstabbed here by the judge. Upgraded into the Phantom. And the plant will then come in.
I think they know Marisa's position.
They have to, especially after these see.
Yeah.
divided.
Cosmic Divide then coming out in the attack, trying to play behind it.
They don't!
Oh no, unfortunately. And now it's at least the wallbang coming out from Som, and it was the Seekers coming out from JZZ to find that information instead. And both of them now playing behind the wall. Flash available for Crashies, goes towards the elbow, blinds both players, but no swing out. Waiting for the wall to come down. They know the judge is here.
One enemy remaining.
But it's RGL.
And save.
Yeah. RGL and JZZ were just too strong there behind the Cosmic Divide. And that's a Thrifty coming in for the Brazilians. Song trying. Oof, with the less bullet, got the kill. Was able to save that weapon.
Kills all over the map, too. A lot of that mid-action started to distribute what was happening at A. I thought Energy was going to be able to take the round. You mentioned Finesse being able to use that breach utility. We kind of talked about how hard it is to follow a Raze, right? How far ahead was he when all of that utility to shut down the rest of his team came in, but did not matter. MIBR still weathers the storm, even numbers down, able to push themselves into A and get a really nice plant and post plant. Really deep back lurk here from RGL, actually. Starting off the round, waiting to make sure he doesn't get hit by a guiding light all the way to spawn, and still playing behind that vending machine. All right, push up here for Energy. How much space does this gain them, though, in terms of kills?
Crashies might have a surprise.
Yeah, that was cool by Artis. Oh. Uh-oh.
Still wants to play it patient. It's not being cleared yet. But at least it's info for the rotate to go back towards this B site. We are playing close. This could be contact with a showstopper on top of that. Despite a lower buy. There's Crashies upgrading that weapon there. The clear comes across. Song gets 2 kills. Showstopper out! Connects onto Heat. And they spot the last player. A 3 versus 1. Spike now picked up. FRZ committed to move towards this B site. A kill in the plant allows for a lockdown to happen. And Finesse is already there to support. Flash available, pushing FRZ back. Gonna be an orb pickup instead. Still time to work with. And still an opportunity to turn this round
30
over.
seconds left.
Back in favor of MIBR if FRZ could clutch this, but now with 20 seconds left, it definitely seems like it's a sealed deal. And NRG's Thrifty is gonna come back in their favor.
So MIBR play this round thinking Energy is going to push, and they just delay the push. And then, in fact, do exactly what MIBR is expecting, and somehow MIBR cannot return fire. They get completely caught off guard. Big props to plays over at A.
Thrifty.
We saw the guns being picked up and the patience being played by Energy. Thrifty's back and forth now as we're on to round 7 here of Split. So that's definitely going to hurt the economy a little bit. See what kind of buys we get in here for the side of MIBR. And this base was taken so quickly and so unknowingly, right? There was a few jumps behind that vending machine down towards spawn, but Energy continued to slowly walk up. I mean, why not? MIBR usually rushes sites, right? So if you're taking that space, it's usually going to work out.
And they got that Thrifty off the weapon that Som saved on that previous round. So the Phantom allowing 2 kills to happen for Energy this time around. It's MIBR who had a Vandal save into this round, trying to see if on the attack they could do the same thing. RGL also buying across. They saved the Econ from the previous round, so it's 2 hero rifles. But they've already lost Heat early in this round.
Yeah, he cooled down very quick here. And even if it was kind of a utility search here by MIBR, that has been brought over to the side of A. We can see a new setup coming from Artis there. And it may actually play right into their hands. MIBR could full walk into this. The flank's going to be coming in from JZZ. He's had such an impact in these games, topping the scoreboard quite a bit. And this would be one of those rounds. This frenzy flank would come in big. Without Heat, this is so hard to take. They have to be right behind each other. quick hit. They're hoping for something for Murray's to pick up here. If they can get a kill, Murray's gets a gun, and then they can work the map with a few more weapons.
30 seconds left.
Knowing that they're at a disadvantage just in that sense makes them move slow. A hit coming in as they waterfall out.
Flash and a double peek. Crashies was only able to grab one. Artist also falls. So those 2 rifles into this round.
Yeah.
They do have an answer for it for MIBR.
Spike planted.
Now, as the lockdown comes out, that forces NRG to play outside of the radius and to play a later retake. But that's time wasted off the clock. Also time wasted off the Cosmic Device set up by Som. As now it disappears. JZZ with 2 flashes still available. 1 weapon upgrade coming out here from the last player that didn't have one. And as JZZ continue to work in, wow, we are answering right back.
Yep.
Nice.
With the lower weaponry here for MIBR.
Getting as close as they can, I think, was the most effective thing there, right? NRG would have good crossfire. The Vandals just able to back each other up. But if MIBR can get there and play the close angles as they did, really plays into their favor with how aggressive they start hitting things. And here in the back, FRZ was still in heaven. They were giving themselves an out if the 2 players of MIBR even went down in sight. So MIBR is being able to put things together here and get themselves ahead of the situation, making it that much easier. I don't think we've seen a change really from Murray's on the right side. It's always watching what the rest of the team is doing and how they formulate this mid strat.
Second time here for Victor.
Kill there. Finesse trying to push up into a B main, but it looks like they stall it out with Victor's kill.
Is it just the same thing? Is he going to go B and get a collat?
You wonder, right? You're always changing your position as a sniper after you take the shot just to keep the team guessing. Here towards B heaven. Sight might be clear, but they're ready to defend it.
Oh my gosh, what a 180 to get that onto Finesse. But thankfully Som is there and also Victor.
Yep.
Spike down B.
1 through the wall bang, right into the chest of RGL. That's the spike down. FRZ trying to clear some space. The timing to lurk out towards spawn. He's able to get that kill onto Som. Alarm bot and a pin out. And a pit out. We get a plant for long.
Oh,
walk in the pit. Artist gets the pick. It's now only up to Maurice. Trying to just stay close as he can here. Flashed out. Cannot now move into his own pit. Now as it comes down, all 3 players are there to greet him. Even Crashy's bearing a gif of a guided light in his hands. And NRG will get the defuse.
Right, that operator clotheslining people. Victor is just getting into these peaks so quick, and there's no escape. He's peeking like a jet would peak, right? Almost like he knows how to do it.
Yeah.
It's working out too well. Operator still in the hands of Victor. 10-6 as the timeout gets called. Phantoms purchased up around us, Vandal rather, as well, for the side of NRG. But confidence in the retakes here. I think they're getting a good read at what's happening on the extremities of the map. Seeing that wall come up, I feel like they know a flank from Maurice could eventually come in. So while NRG is holding the sites, they're waiting for a lot of the util to be seen first before they act, meaning, hey, have we actually seen...
Here.
We're going to try to figure out here what we could do. So Victor was there opping with into the ropes on the top of mid. Maybe this timeout is now okay. This is the second time he has the operator. He still has it into this round. They have great opportunities now to maybe work up towards the A ramp and also towards mid. Because we were able to forfeit that into like the first picks after Victor goes for the attempt off that. And if there's a way that we can pin him inside the vents, it's a great way to get an early player advantage.
And you see already set up in the back, Finesse. Looks like they get ready for a fault line down the middle of the map. Oh no, they switch it up real quick. They could be going for a fault line off of A ramp here. Finesse instantly changes position, and they're looking to get maybe a push forward here. Finesse lining that up. Mid play is the answer again for MIBR.
Okay. So it's a turret to try to watch the cross.
Yeah.
On this mid pressure that MIBR brought after this timeout. A Trailblazer to put Victor into a position to opt towards A main. Here's a jump spot coming out here. Misses a shot, but at least a swing comes out from Crashies after the Seekers to get the kill. That now forces MIBR to just rush up towards B Heavens and try to drop into B. Nano starting to push Artis away. And even Som playing passively outside the B site. But all those Seekers allowed all of Energy to already rotate up towards spawn. Staircase, the pinch is coming through. But there's players holding out towards Mail.
There are a lot outside sight here, Vansili.
Paint shells on both ends. Artis and Crashies on that flank. Dropping all three players playing outside the site that you mentioned, Riv. Only one left to go. Pinned long range by Artis. And that looks really good for Energy.
That's a tough spot to defend. There's so many angles to come from, and it's not a usual protocol to defend it. You have, so that's all in the moment. Energy swarms MIBR. That's a defuse for Finesse for Rolling Thunder to come into the next round. And yeah, just a bit of a mishap there on the post plant. The round looked good from MIBR. I think one of the big things you pointed out, Vans, was the Seekers forcing the hand of MIBR to say, well, we don't want to get caught by any of that. So they all try to get into sight, but really just find themselves with one person in sight and three people trying to hold the defensive position. It did not work. That Rolling Thunder ready. Look at this, maybe a push-up, guiding light, as you see the positioning of Finesse as well. Keeping an eye on the protocols they set up here just to shut down MIBR in the beginning. They've left mid, though. It seems like Heat feels comfortable pushing into mid and getting a bit of space to get this fight. Maybe he wants some revenge on Victor.
Yeah, as much as MIBR likes to work towards the mid, it also seems that the game plan for Energy is really to try to fight Crashies against Maritz, not really allowing this IGL to really get the lurks like he did on the second and even the first map. That seems so long ago.
Yeah,
that's well done to keep him towards his toes, on his feet.
Finesse backs up for a nade, waiting for that fault line. But also, again, the Rolling Thunder. I'd say Energy playing really far forward for this Rolling Thunder, too. Inside the site, they won't be able to use it right away. And once they find where Finesse is, I think this actually changes MIBR's decision right away. Make sure they go towards or away from that utility. And they're going to try to push from the outside here on A.
And a Rolling Thunder right away to cancel out the Seekers coming out from MIBR. Yes, it hits a few, but only good for the delays, allowing all of Energy to just be posted up and ready for that eventual hit of MIBR inside the A site. And that's Finesse spraying through smokes, getting the first pick off onto JZZ. We're still closing in. Crashes inside the site, playing outside of the Nebula. They're going to let the plant down, and Maurice gets a nice pick off that Bulldog. Aggressive position. Som gets the pick onto FRZ.
3v2.
And with the cosmic divine, close range with the shorty. Victor gets the pick.
Player standing.
And couldn't pick up the gun on time. Close range now. Som making it a 1 versus 1 against the IGL. Only with the Bulldog. Hiding on the other side of the wall. Now Star comes in. Oh, he heard the jump though. He heard the jump and Bulldog. One blind side! Wait! Of the smoke! As that the wall comes down, he swings back out, gets the kill! The 3 into the round!
To see those types of games being played at this level, Vansili, absolutely amazing. Som able to come up with the clutch there, and both players pushing each other to the limit there to try and get the most amount of information. Som, smart, an instant astral form to find himself a little bit more cover and cause Maurice to have to play that touch and go, jump in and out game to get the info he needed. Patience. Cool, calm, and collected. Cool, Som, and collected, if you will. A nice round by him. 7-3 now. Energy taking the lead here. The Thrifties started to affect both teams, but it seems like Energy has been able to break away from that.
Yeah. It was definitely a lot of back and forth, and until we had not only an operator, but an operator with rifles for Energy into this half, it's been working well. And Victor, ooh, the aggression, the confidence. Spotted by the turret of FRZ and falls back here at top B Heaven, still posted down with this operator.
Finesse still delivering those early fault lines to keep MIBR off of any insta-rush. Som gets first contact here, seeing one into that B main area. So a few bits of information. I think MIBR almost wanted to give up, right?
Yeah.
And get the peaks. If they're seen, that's fine. And now they can start to switch up their strategy and do something different. What a push into A up at Heaven already. Not going to get too far with an Aftershock in their face. But it looks like they do want MIBR wants to go through vents in the end here.
Counting the utility being used, though. Artist was trying to get that flank across. And that's counting the utility that Finesse was using up towards A Heavens. That's an opportunity to move back up. So Energy had to make a move. Figure out that they could play the numbers advantage. Trying to get a flank across, but all of those angles, all of those attempts fully denied until we're still pushing towards the B side. Stopped by Victor, at least to start. Som, unfortunately, is going to get timing here by Heat. Okay, it was close. 17 seconds left. Now footsteps rotating across towards A. And this might still actually be a save coming out from Victor no matter
10
what.
seconds left.
Keep that up.
Being hunted, though.
Showstopper's ready, so you don't need an orb for that, but you are right.
Spike planted.
Blood in the water. They smell where Victor is. No movement yet from Maurice, but he is hunting, as you would expect. And this will be the true test, right? He picks up the op, says thank you, and starts delivering the medicine back to Victor.
Well, it might give it to FRZ, if anything, too.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, they've been playing the Vandal onto Heat so he can continuously go forward. Keep those quick plays up. Uh-oh.
Spaghetti. Sorry, you got that in my head. Close range, and that's a shorty onto Heat.
So good.
Spike, of course, will go off no matter what. MIBR will get 4. But this will be good for the confidence of Victor. There's another one in. Seems like even that Spike is taking forever to go off here. Looks like Victor will be able to save the operator in the end. It was starting to get really expensive there for JZZ if they wanted to continue to chase him and hunt him down.
Say maybe not. We can still secure the 7-5, but we need some weapons to do that.
Exactly.
So Energy calls the timeout. Victor Showstopper Ultimate. So much to be used here, and they have to worry. Probably just a reminder, the lockdown's there. Be careful of what can happen if Heat grabs the Showstopper as well. So maybe a bit of control to the ult orbs to start here for Energy is what we're talking about in this timeout, because that could be an easy way if MIBR secures an ult orb to see a 7-5 half and they bring one more into their favor.
This timeout coming out from Energy. Is it exactly with that? You mentioned that Showstopper, an opportunity for them to play a little bit more aggressive like they did on their Thrifty, but just try to keep that back here on this retake. I mean, when it comes down to that, they have a great opportunity for Energy to play the retake into the round because the Cosmic Divide is also available for them on the defense. So post out of that up, trying to figure out where MIBR could be going, which again, it seems that they're putting a lot of focus for the attack side to get that lurk up at least towards that A ramp. That alarm bot doesn't seem to do much, but it really helps Energy set up here and be aware of the eventual single double push of the players over at MIBR towards this A ramp.
Spike is actually with Maurice this time on the side of MIBR. This is not normally what we see. That's a solo play for the most of every round so far. And a little bit more patience. So I think this sell from MIBR on B becomes a little bit stronger now. They go for more util, maybe a molly or setting up the alarm bot. There's the alarm bot.
Some was on a one and done, but decides to pull back instead. And it's a lockdown, but a fake Elise from MIBR rotating over towards the A side. Still 2 players from Energy inside this A side, off angle, trying to get the delay. The fault line coming out from Finesse. And Artist catches Heat, jumping across. Even a Cosmic Divide to make things difficult. And everything's just working so well now. Off that kill, Crashies pops out the Seekers. That's gonna spot the last 3. A little bit ahead of one Seeker though, as FRZ is able to pick him off. And Victor's waiting with this op. No util really available, so it has to be a body peek. And Victor capitalizes on that kill. Showstopper to come out, and we are running away right into the crosshair. A soft and a long range. Showstopper coming out, playing Rocket Arena as Energy once again finish the half 8-4.
Timeouts or not, that round was played so well. We talked a little bit about disconnecting the team from their duelist. That's what the fault line's doing, and that's what we saw them do right there to shut down MIBR and possibly getting a 5th round. Let's throw it to the desk, see what they feel about this 3rd match between Energy and MIBR.
Thank you very much, Riv. Right now, it's NRG sitting pretty, 8-4 on the first half. It's a nice round lead that they have for themselves. I'm going to go straight to you, Sideshow, because as we were walking over to the desk getting ready for this halftime, you said it. Heat is struggling right now in the first half.
He's having an absolute mare of a first half. And part of the reason is that he's playing a very aggressive race style, double blast packing into areas, when they're playing a comp where no one can follow that up. I mean, one piece of utility, whether it's a pull, a fault line, whatever, separates him from everybody else, isolates him, and then he dies. He's got 5 first deaths. What was he, like 4 and 12 or something? Died every round of the half. It's just been brutal to watch.
Yeah, I mean, he keeps trying to take that mid control too, and it's like none of his teammates can support him, exactly what you said. So I'm really interested to see coming into this next half, like how they're going to play around the Raze, and hopefully they're going to be trying to counter the Breach, because Breach is going to be able to stun him off angles, and if he's going to be able to pick up that op, is he going to be able to actually use it this time around?
Yeah, we're looking for something different out of MIBR in the second half, because right now everything's working for NRG. Speaking of things that are working that maybe shouldn't have, this round 4 here for Crashies.
Crashies should get 1 in that spot. And he gets 4 and wins the round.
He knows it too.
Yeah.
That's the greatest deadpan I've ever seen in my life. But he gets away with the 4K and a solid lead for the team. Yeah, Heat unfortunately struggling on the other side of it too. We're looking at Victor on the Raze, who's been set up a little bit better by his team, and you can see it play out in the stats as well. 390 ACS.
He's also just been opping, and they can't challenge it at all. There's only the dog that really is effective at pushing him off angles. He's not going to be opping attack side though. He's going to be doing what Heat's trying to do, double blast back in. But he's got flashes, he's got stuns, he's got 2 initiators that can help him a bit better.
All right, answer the question before I was going to ask it, which is, yeah, does he have the kind of support behind him that will enable him to get more effectiveness out of the Raze where Heat wasn't able to find it?
Yeah, I think for MIBR coming in, I don't know about the Raze, but you know, one thing I am confident about is that they do have a lot more stall power. And so I'm interested to see how NRG can kind of use their initiator flashes to get past the double controller setup, because that is going to be a toughie.
Look, they have fought back from worse deficits. We went the distance on map number 2 all the way to triple overtime. We'll see if we can get anything the like here in map number 3. Let's get the second half underway. Back over to our casters.
Thank you, Dash. Indeed, MIB are now taking a defender side and do have a composition that could delay a lot more. The Viper, the Astra, and also the Killjoy. Even the Pain Shells to try to push people back on initial hits. We'll see if NRG has an answer to that going into this. As we mentioned before, first time that they go head-to-head with this comp versus that comp. And at least from our first impression, it looks like NRG definitely has a grasp of how they wanted to play the defense with Victor on the op. This time on the attack, it's Artis, the first one to open it up with the Sheriff.
MIBR waiting with arms open, the Quadra Frenzy strat. Let's see if they can catch one. Here it goes.
Oh my god, it was almost a kill that dinked there down. 22 HP is Heat. Could not escape from that satchel. But there comes the push.
Sheriff.
The support from Artis with the Sheriff and the wallbang. FRZ does have a frenzy against a low HP of Artis. And that spike towards elbow. Finesse looking for some support. Oh, he turns away. Thought that he was going to be able to get that kill, or spot that he got the kill.
Right.
As now Snakebite comes down. Nice push in from MIBR. Artis is only at 9 HP. Reitz now in a position where a body shot could take him, and he wide swings instead. And MIBR, the patience is a virtue, comes in for the pistol round win.
Once they identified there was somebody hiding at A alt orb there in A main, that was really neat. They use Finesse to come back into the round, and then Artis able to clean up that kill. Nice little mind games. Both teams lost quite a bit there. We'll see the buys coming through, not too hard for the side of MIBR.
It was just a nice push and pull too, right? When Finesse moved in to support Artis, that was the cue to Maurice to say, hey, let's just push on the other extremity from screens and just overtake the players inside the A site. Very well done. Good thinking on the fly. And the thinking now for NRG seems to be that push towards B.
right into Vance.
It's a crossfire. Almost got that frag there onto RGL, but it was going to get traded no matter what. Big flash to come out, though.
Remaining.
And there you go. A third one would have been nice. Heat makes it out with 21 HP. But now MRBR moves into a bonus round with a Vandal.
Do they bring any more into the play, too? I wouldn't think so. We've seen the teams actually going light buys into these sometimes, even on their bonus, if the money's just right. Yeah, I love the play here. It's everybody, it's an all-in, right? Eco save, everybody goes all in, but the flash out of the smoke, sometimes you just need those little sets to be able to get your frags in and pick up a gun that will be able to help you win the round. MIBR looks like they want to get a push here onto A main. They're going to allow Heat to run and
Nova Pulse.
Victor forward.
So well done. The support system, do we have it behind Victor? And indeed they did.
Yes.
A fault line to a Nova Pulse, allowing Victor to get that first kill, forcing even early Nanoswarm out from FRZ on the top of B Heavens.
It was a night and day difference from even how the defense was able to react, right? When we saw that happening and they were going forward, it kind of just got shut down. Heat was taken out in mailroom, and there Victor had so much to work with to make sure that worked. Yeah, Heat's already coming around. Hasn't gotten the forward fight, so he's going to go for the backs now and hopes to pick up quite a few here. The turret looking right at him.
Maybe not as much, actually. It was still pointing towards the garage, so he gets this pick off onto Finesse. Or maybe too much tucked in there towards the staircase of Ramen. So it's a 4v4. Pain Shells to do damage onto Victor. Now players are pinned. Even Heat's falling all the way back towards the A site. Turret now gets the kill onto Victor, unfortunately, as we're trying to move forward and at least break that turret down.
30 seconds
Now Energy
left.
commits into the site. Storm clearing towards the back. A fake clear, and that allows RGL to move in and get two more with the Spectre. Crashy's trying to clutch it out. Breaking his legs, dropping down towards the B site to pick up the Spike. There's only 14 seconds left.
I got the spike.
Always being wary of a potential flank, but it's coming from B Heaven instead. And MIBR convert the bonus.
That's one of those unwavering rounds that I talked about when we started this match today from MIBR, that there will be times when they will not move. The utility makes them confident, their positioning makes them confident, and even if the entirety of Energy is walking into a site, everybody from MIBR stays. It's not the retake. There we see 3 members of MIBR holding strong in the site, playing an awesome crossfire, even though NRG was knocking at the door with multiple members. It's one of those kind of aggressive things I think the desk was talking about, where you just don't expect a lot from MIBR in terms of staying back, being able to play safe. Now, they're going to be in your face, but that one was pretty interesting. NRG could not cope with it.
Oh! Victor got a timing with it. Satchel's up, down to 31 HP. Support behind with the flash into Vince. But Maurice still makes it out. Looking to fight back towards Mail. Heat creeping up to support him on B Heavens, and unfortunately crashing. Just pops out of nowhere outside of the poison orb. Free kill. And Heat now clears out towards Mail, and that's gonna stop any type of pressure that NRG had at the beginning of this round.
They're going to be walking right into a Trailblazer. Possibly JZZ. No, that util's down now. This push from Artis is going to be even better if they can get B main at the right time.
Unfortunately, only has a Stinger. And with that, with the Nanosword combo, it works out. Only 2 players alive, but one's already inside the smoke. Marie's trying to get a timing. Smoke now dissipates.
Spike planted.
Catching Finesse. Puts out the pick. The 2 players on the attack, though, upgraded it into weapons. No utility available, but there's actually still a star there. Moving up towards the ropes. Som is now on a 2 versus 1. Gets that first one as the pick gets pulled down. An opportunity for Som, who now gets lead and flicks across. Was getting peeked out there by Maurice, who unfortunately cannot get a clutch in the favor of NRG. And MIBR in the second half tie up the game 8-8.
MIBR is doing a great job of getting these frags outside the site. We see 2 already coming down in mid, dwindling the numbers of NRG and what they'll have for the post plant. So I think it's great by MIBR to really start getting a win condition early in the round, not giving NRG too much of this space. We've seen MIBR at A main quite a bit, pushing out Guiding Light to even get contact in the beginning. It looks like they're going to put a little pressure towards mid here too if Maurice decides to push all the way out and get a sight check onto mid. 5B for NRG. That's going to be an ult grab here looking for Artis. Oh, they're ready to throw everything in the kitchen sink in Vansili.
Satchel's in right now, pushing forward on the Cosmic Divide. Looking for a plant for long. There's still a Rolling Thunder available too if you want to regain that space.
You should run.
2 ults used.
Lockdown done instead, which should now solidify and guarantee the plant, especially with the Trailblazer clearing out towards the B site.
3 ults used.
And Victor's behind it. RGL's just around the corner as it's looking for potentially a flash play out from Crashies if he has a flash available soon, but it's going to be a walk-up instead. Rolling Thunder then, getting the shot in the back. Crashies then moves forward for that second kill. There's that flash that's available, falls back to safety until Maurice moves through, dropping from heaven to hell. The wallbang coming in, the stars down onto that spike. The tap forcing him away. And it might be our falls back for a save.
Ooh. But man, if they started getting the defuse on their Vansili, that was gonna feel weird. 4 ultimates and no secure, but that's not the case. 4 ults do secure the round. NRG making sure they can start getting some on something over MIBR there, because it could have looked real bad. MIBR was in, I think, in play to make that happen. The flash coming out didn't hit anybody because of the smokes, but just having the Astra Stars there. So many answers for NRG to keep it going and stop the defuse. So they knew what they were doing. Cost a lot, but they got that round. Cosmic Divide and Showstopper up. Heat really needs to catch on fire at some point soon. Activate this guy, because it looks like NRG have found a way to keep shutting him down. Quick hawk towards A. This is the first time we're really seeing NRG give a lot of love towards this side of the site, with their extremity watch being towards B. And that lurk's going to come in from Artis. Good gamble by MABR, though.
And all those hunts, yes, were used, as there's nothing to be used towards the B having control, but at least a flash to initiate a couple of these trades. A 4 versus 4. Now we calm down, fall back from it, and those ults that were used also allows here for, let's talk about that in a bit, actually.
Terminated.
Artis was still lurking towards mid, gets the headshot there onto Heat. And that dwindles down to defense. There's no map control now being done towards mid, so you see on that extremity, on that radar, RGL's now moving up to try to close that gap.
Just searching. Yeah, they're trying to get around everything. Gets into the site now. Nice util for delay here, Vansili. They're forced to wait. This could give the rotation now for RGL to come over.
Not affected by the flash behind screens, though. FRZ comes up. Spike is now down. As Saw moves in, while spraying through the smoke. Getting a 2, and of course, the last one that was hurt here by the alarm bot is now putting RGL into a 3 versus 1. Economy is very low for MIBR. So RGL is looking to capitalize on some mistakes that might be done here by NRG to maybe attempt to go for the defuse, but if not, it's a save, and indeed it's going to be a save. As you can definitely see it, NRG moving up now,